wide world of sports is going on here.
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody. Yes, we made it. Welcome to a long weekend. Final day of school for many here in the Roswell Independent School District. So, a lot of excitement in the air today. I hope, and it's going to be a warm one. Also in the air, hot and little wind, but more hot. Hot and breeze. In fact, we do have, we do have a red flag warning. That's going to kick in today at 11. And then we got fire weather watch for tomorrow already. So I'm sure that'll be upgraded to a red flag warning tomorrow or late tonight or something. So, but graduations, we got kids getting out of school, all kind of stuff. By the way, don't forget, graduations, tell your out-of-town friends and family they can watch it, ksvptv.com for everybody. Artesia had theirs last night. Of course, Roswell Goddard have theirs this weekend. University High, early college, all that. We got them. Just go to ksvptv.com. You'll find the graduation channels there. So make sure you tell all those out-of-town friends and family that they can watch the graduations there at ksvptv.com. Or, of course, your local friends that don't get to go to the graduation. Or good news is I don't think we're having any rain today or tomorrow, so any outdoor plans won't get moved indoors, I don't think. Just bring, like, cool weather and sunscreen. But, of course, some of these are in the evening. But, be appropriate there. But, yeah, we'll have it for you. Of course, don't forget Memorial Day weekend. And we got, of course, the 3-day weekend for many. But remember why we are celebrating Memorial Day weekend. Don't forget, on Memorial Day, both at Memory Lawn and South Park cemeteries, they're going to be doing Memorial Day ceremonies. They're going to be out at Memory Lawn in the morning on Monday, I believe at 9 a.m., and then at 1 p.m. out at South Park Cemetery. So, if you're looking for, and of course, this morning I know they're going to be out at South Park, Saturday morning they're going to be out at South Park, and then also out at Memory Lawn. I believe they're starting at like 7 a.m. out at South Park. And I think at 9 a.m. out at Memory Lawn tomorrow, they're going to be putting flags out at the veterans' graves. They've got some 3,500 graves to mark out at South Park, and about 280 some over at Memory Lawn that they've got to mark. So it's more hands make less work type thing. So if you'd like to, I know they're going to have the scouts out at the at least one of them, maybe both, and then. Of course, volunteers and our American Legion posts are going to be out there as well, too. So if you'd like to join them, again, for South Park, they're going to gather at 7 a.m. Tomorrow to start putting flags out, and then out at Memory Lawn at 9 a.m. So good way to help honor those this Memorial Day weekend. It is, let me give you the rundown. I haven't done the rundown, and of course I got to thank the fine folks at McDonald's, because as they do each and every Friday, provide us with delicious breakfast treats, and they don't disappoint once again. Of course, if you're hungry, of course you got a busy weekend. If you got travel plans or family coming in, or you're hosting a big shindig this weekend, and then you're going to be doing all your cooking of ribs and all that stuff. But then you're like thinking like Friday night dinner or Saturday, breakfast. You're like, oh, we got all the barbecue plans, but we didn't do it. So swing on by any of your McDonald's here in town. They got you covered. Don't forget, you can download the app, get exclusive deals through that app, and also pay through the app. You can use that app to have it delivery, curbside pickup, go in and dine in. It really is a game changer, and definitely save some money too. Join the rewards program. Next thing you know, you're earning free food. It doesn't take a lot. After a couple of visits, I'm up in the big time territory where they're giving away free Big Macs and stuff like that. So definitely download that McDonald's app and give it a little try today. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We do have a full slate for you. Peggy Boland with Camp Invention scheduled to join us this hour. Of course, Camp Invention is just right around the corner, happening June 6th through June 10th out at First United Methodist Church. It's a week-long day camp for elementary-age kids where they do fun STEM projects. There's 4 different modules they work on. We've been talking about it quite a bit over the last couple months, but Camp Invention, 6th through 10th, but Peggy's scheduled to join us here in a few. We'll talk more about that. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, the folks from Healthy Kids Chaves County going to join us. Paula Camp and Becky Joyce give us an update on what they've got going on. Of course, kids getting out for summer, but you know what that means. A lot of resources for kids and things like that. They, the stuff they get at school, now they're going to have to find alternatives during the summer here, so they're going to probably help and talk about some of that stuff. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Chaves County Manager Bill Williams is going to join us and give us an update on what's happening in and around Chaves County, update the last commission meeting, and, of course, other events and activities the county has planned. They were having some kind of event over at Cerritos the other night. I had family in town for golfing at Nimi. So we all had dinner. I guess what's today? It was Wednesday night. It was Wednesday night into Thursday out at Cerritos, and I think Chaves County was having a meeting event deal in there. So saw quite a few people in there, but yeah, including our county manager. But yeah, they know where the good tacos are. But that's pretty much the rundown here. It is 12 minutes, closing on 13 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather. I wish I had better news for you, but it's going to be hot, windy, and all of that here the next couple days.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got a hot, sunny, and windy holiday weekend coming up. Just over the 100-degree mark today with sunshine, a little bit gusty. Clear for the overnight hours. We're in the mid-60s, and then about 105 for tomorrow afternoon. Sunshine and wind kicking up to 35 miles per hour. Windy with our highs near 100 on Sunday and Memorial Day. That's your latest forecast. This is staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 62 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 32%. Winds currently out of the east at 3 miles per hour. As I had mentioned earlier, we do have that red flag warning that's going to kick in. Actually, that's for tomorrow. I'm sorry. I thought that was today. That's actually for tomorrow. And then Sunday, they've got the fire weather watch. But today, it's going to be the same recipe. So even though there isn't technically the fire or the red flag warning, does not mean the conditions are much different. Sunny, hot, high of 101 today. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 this morning, 15 to 20 later in the day. Tonight, we're looking at mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 64. Winds will be out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny, hot, and 104 for a high tomorrow. Winds out of the south early, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Later in the day, increasing 15 to 25. Could see wind gusts as high as 35 miles per hour. Saturday night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 64. Winds, once again, will be breezy out of the southwest, 20 to 25. They will drop down 10 to 15 after midnight. For your Sunday, sunny, hot, and windy. High, once again, right around 100. Southwest winds 10 to 20. Early, increasing 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour later Sunday afternoon. Sunday night, mostly clear and windy with an overnight low of 64. And for your Memorial Day on Monday, sunny, hot, and windy, Highs once again right around the century mark. And then Tuesday, when you head back to work, sunny, hot, high of 101. And then Wednesday, Thursday, looks like we got some decent rain chances, hopefully. A little knock on wood. Yeah, they're talking like a 40% chance of rain on Wednesday, 40% chance of rain Thursday of next week. Highs also only in the upper 80s. So there sounds like there's a respite, but we got to wait about another half a week, another week or so, 3/4 of a week from today to really get to that. But sunny and hot this weekend, and then maybe about Wednesday, Thursday next week, we'll see some moisture and cooler temps move into the region. Knocking on wood there. All right, it is 7:15. I haven't heard from Peggy Bolin yet, so let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. If Peggy doesn't join us, we'll give her a few minutes. My backup will be we had the folks from American Legion Post 61 join us Tuesday in the 9 o'clock hour, and we talked all about Memorial Day weekend and all the different events happening there. So we'll play that interview if we don't hear from Peggy. But quick break. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Jay Block for governor. Jay Block, conservative, veteran, leader. Jay Block is the only choice to stand up and defeat Michelle Lujan Grisham. Mr. Block is a veteran of combat, serving in Afghanistan, a nuclear commander, and winner of the New Mexico State Republican Convention. As an America First conservative, Mr. Block has turned blue seats red and has never lost a race. Mr. Block will end the madness in Santa Fe once and for all. He's not a weatherman. He's not a rhino. Jay Block is a conservative, veteran, and a leader. Vote June 7th in the Republican primary.
Paid for by Friends for J Block.
There's a whole universe out there. Come explore at the International UFO Museum and Research Center, featuring engaging exhibits and in-depth first-hand accounts of the incident that put Roswell on the map. The research library features the most comprehensive collection of UFO research materials in the world, and you can get exclusive one-of-a-kind gifts and merch from the gift shop or online at RoswellUFOmuseum.com. Don't forget about the UFO Festival, July 1st through 3rd, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Roswell incident. The International UFO Museum and Research Center. It's otherworldly. Do you have what it takes to be a champion? Country Club Road Church of Christ presents Champion VBS, June 6th through the 10th, from 9 to 11:30 a.m. for ages 3 years old through 6th grade. Explore the excitement of leading others to a relationship with Jesus from some of the best loved passages of Scripture, and with a team of some of the world's fastest animals, you'll learn how to be a champion with practice, perseverance, and a little sweat. Skits, crafts, music, Bible stories, snacks, lunch, and more, including a free t-shirt. Find out more and register at ccrcoc.com. Champion VBS, June 6th through the 10th at Country Club Road Church of Christ. Open to ages 3 years old through 6th grade at the corner of Washington and Country Club Road in Roswell. Learn more and register now at ccrcoc.com.
KSVPTV.com is where you can watch the area graduation ceremonies this week. Wednesday, it's Artesia High School Baccalaureate at 7:30 p.m. Thursday, Roswell University High graduation at 6, Artesia High School graduation at 7:30. Friday, Goddard High School graduation at 7 o'clock. Saturday, it's the RISD Early College graduation at 11 a.m. and the Roswell High graduation at 7 p.m. If you can't attend or have friends and family members around the country or around the world, make sure they log on to ksvptv.com to watch the Class of 2022 graduation exercises. The broadcast of area graduations is presented by Pecos Valley Equipment, Trans Aero, Double D Animal Nutrition and Supply, Amigo Machinery, Sun Country Garden Center, J&J Home Care, Forest Tire, Carlsbad Medical, Carlsbad National Bank, the Eddy County DWI Task Force, and HF Sinclair.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:19. I haven't seen our guest yet, but I just heard the phone ring, so maybe that might be them. So, but in the meantime, I do want to remind folks that happening today, this morning. Okay. happening this morning. Our guest is here. We'll hang out for a few more minutes here and as they get her in and get her settled. But yes, today Tobosa is having their big seventh inning stretch event. That's going to be happening beginning at 10 a.m. this morning and lasting till 8 o'clock this evening out on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn. So if you're wondering if you've been through downtown late yesterday or this morning, like what's with all the tents and things that are going up there on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn? Well, it's for the big seventh inning stretch event with Tobosa and the Roswell Invaders happening. Again, it's 10 to 8 today, and it's going to be a fun day out there. A bunch of free events are going to have performances. The American Legion Color Guard, Tom Blake. Opening ceremonies will begin at 11. They're going to have live music with the Homegrown Boys, Blasita y Raulo, the Royal Rubens Cheer and Dance. At 5 p.m., you can come out and meet and greet the Roswell Invaders. Plus, they're going to have music, vendors, cheer and dance, a pet adoption, Desert Willow Wildlife Rehab Center, Petting Zoo, informational stuff about all of Tobosa's events, fundraisers, and more, all of that. Plus, it's, like I said, lots of food, lots of free stuff that's happening out there. But also, if you would like to learn more about all of the services available through Tobosa, whether it's Los Pasitos earlier intervention stuff or the stuff about the adult with special needs coaching and life skills or any of that stuff, they're going to have representatives for all of that here at the event today. But it's going on 10 to 8 out on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn. By the way, there's several games in June and July with the Roswell Invaders that they're going to have that they're supporting with Tobosa. So if you go to Tobosa's website, trytobosa.org, or go to Tobosa's Facebook page, just look for Tobosa Developmental Services. There's a link there, and there's several Invader games that you can get tickets for. Get the tickets through those links, and a portion of the ticket sales go back to Tobosa during those events. So if you want to help out the Invaders and Tobosa, go through those portals to get your tickets for some of these games in June and July. And that way you can help out Tobosa, help out the Invaders, and have a good time at a baseball game. But learn more about it at the big seventh inning stretch event, 10 to 8 this morning, all day actually, out on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn. All right, 7:22, and joining us here in studio this morning, we're crunch time now. Peggy Boland with Camp Invention with us. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you doing?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Energized.
Yeah, good deal. Yeah, we're what, about a week, a little over a week away from
a week
from
and a
Camp
couple
Invention.
days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal.
Yeah, we got our 53 boxes.
Excellent.
That were sent from Camp Invention. We inventoried them yesterday. Looking good. There are some really cool things they sent.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm excited for the kids because I know it's going to be a great camp.
Good deal. Well, so I imagine there's a section of the church right now just loaded with boxes and everything, getting ready for
pretty much
for Camp Invention here. Now, for folks, if you haven't heard what we're talking about yet, Camp Invention. This is a camp that Peggy's been having here in Roswell for many years now.
Yes.
But the Camp Invention is happening June 6th through June 10th, and it's a week-long day camp for elementary age kids, kindergarten through 6th. There's also
those entering kindergarten.
Entering kindergarten to 6th, right? And it's a week-long camp where they work on 4 different modules, but it's all STEM and STEAM-based fun, and basically it's a bunch of fun disguised as a whole bunch of learning.
Yeah, good way of putting it. Uh-huh.
And the kids just have a great week of playing and working on these projects and things, and at the same time learning various science, math, engineering, and art-related things. And that's what it's about. And so it's a great opportunity for kids to have fun. This year it's back to the regular in-camp, day camp. They have the extended camp for parents that need that have that need as well. And each that Monday through Friday through the 6th there, you're going to come out and have fun. That last day of Friday, everything wraps up there, and then they get to take all these projects home. And it's really great because, and we said it 100 times, with the rough school years, with COVID and all that, camps like this become much more important because the gaps in learning that they've had over the last couple of years, and all children have gone through this because just the way of the world, events like this are what we need to do to kind of get them back up to speed on where they should be.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the kid looks at this week of camp is fun and making friends and making cool toys. And what's really happening is, oh, by the way, they're learning principles of, gravity and space and all these different various elements of science and math and stuff. So it's really fun. So, but the good news is you haven't missed it yet. If you want to get in on the camp,
we still have openings.
Yeah, unfortunately, the only way we can help financially now is through the partial scholarships. I think all the offer
other
codes
discounts are gone.
Are passed, but those are still available for folks that need it. In
fact, I just got donated some more money yesterday.
Awesome.
I'm sending it in today.
Good.
That means I have more money to help families.
So if there's some families now got their schedule worked out and they're thinking, oh, okay, we're going to be in town that week.
That's right.
But they're thinking, ooh, $250 is a lot for a child. Or I have 2 kids, $500 or 3.
I've helped families with 3.
Yeah, and so call Peggy Direct, which we'll tell you how to do here in a little bit. And Peggy can help out with partial scholarships there. And of course, we'll talk need on individually with people on, whether it's how much partial they can help out with, but what they need. But good news is you've had some great donors that have been steadily giving money for this. Now, that being said, it's not like there's plenty of money. They can always use more money for this. So if there's folks that want to continue to donate, even if that money isn't
used this year,
it'll go
used
to next year.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of goes to a pot that the Camp Invention folks hold wherever they keep that stuff, and then it's like an account. They say, okay, well, your account has X amount of dollars to give away for scholarships this year, and then you hopefully during the year we're building upon that number gets a little bigger. But if it doesn't pay for a camper directly next week here, it'll pay for next year's camp, which. Unless something weird happens, Peggy has no desire or no chance of missing out for next camp. So, but it really is a great fun camp. And here's the thing: it's what so the kindergartners and the younger ones, they're doing the same projects. They're just doing it based on their skill level and age appropriate.
Right.
So the kids that are like 4th, 5th grade, the older kids, they're doing the project, but they're getting a little more advanced. Lessons in that same thing, but at the end of the day, all the kids are going to have the cool robotic aquatic aquarium and all the marble maze arcade, all of that kind of stuff. They get to do all that. That you just learn more advanced principles based on how age appropriate it is for them. So
right. I talked to one mother yesterday, and she said she had an incoming kindergarten and an incoming 6th grader. I'm like, oh. Great. You have both spectrums. They'll have the same camp, but one will know a whole lot more than the other because of the age and their skill and everything else.
And then they won't fight over, that's my thing because they both had the exact same.
Exactly. So I'm so excited that I still have money I can use for partial scholarships. And
Excellent.
I encourage everybody to call because I have not denied anyone unless they said I can't afford any of it because I give partial scholarship. I give nice chunks.
Sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
But you want the family invested, make sure they come to the camp and all that kind of stuff. And so to ensure that we want a little skin in the game.
Right,
That's all. But really, if there's a desire to go to camp, we don't want money to be the hurdle. That's what we want. Every child that wants to be there to have that opportunity here on June 6th. So now, if you don't need a scholarship, you're just like, no, I'm good to go. I want to help out and all that. You can still sign up direct through the website invent.org and
/camp
/camp. Mm-hmm. And then when you get to that website, there's going to be a little like find a camp near you link or something. You click that, you put Roswell NM in, and all the information for Roswell's Camp Invention will be there, and then you can fill out the information and submit it, and boom, you're registered for camp. Now, if you do need a partial scholarship, you can go to invent.org to learn about Camp Invention, but please don't sign up through there. Please sign up directly through Peggy. That way we can talk about the scholarships and all. And so if you need financial aid to go to this year's camp, call Peggy direct 575-420-9955. Again, that's 575-420-9955. Or you can shoot her an email, pbolin2016@gmail.com. That's PBOHLIN 2016@gmail.com. And either way, you can get a hold of Peggy, and if you don't get her right away, she'll get right back to you, and we'll talk about it and make arrangements and get you registered for camp too.
Right.
Is LIT still available, or is that filled up?
Yes, but they'd have to go to the 800 number to sign their child up if they want to be a leader in training, which are entering 7th through entering 9th graders. And it's a nice deal because it's only $155 and no discount beyond that.
Yes.
Because that's not through me.
Yeah, that's direct.
The cost from Camp Invention. But it's 1-800-968-4332. They learn leadership skills. They're mentored by a teacher or another leadership intern, depending on where I put them. And they are campers as well.
Yeah, plus they get to do all the cool projects and all the things. But they're also kind of the teacher's assistant kind of thing.
Right,
and
they get a nice little packet. Yeah. I mean, I got a couple already, and they're literally in bubble wrap. And I haven't opened them because they're the campers, but I'm excited to give them to the students.
Cool.
When they arrive. So,
but if you're interested in doing that and becoming an LIT, again, that's for kids a little bit older. There, the
middle school age,
7th through 9th grade, basically. Call 1-800-968-4332. Again, that's 800-968-4332, and that. Now you can register for camp through that number in any facet or form, unless you want a partial scholarship from Peggy. But if you want to, if your student wants to be an LIT, at this point you got to call the 1-800 number. That's the only way you can do that. And if you call Peggy and ask, she's going to tell you to call that 1-800 number because that's the only way you can register for it. Now there is one more option available for families at an additional cost if they would like it. And that is the extended day camp hours. And so for an additional fee of $80, you can get extended hours, and that runs from 7:30 to 5:30. And in essence, it's basically more camp. The camp itself goes 9 to 3:30 each day. The extended camp basically gives 2 more hours on either side of that. And and trust me, it's not like they drop the kid off, they sit in a room for 2 hours till camp starts. No, it's more camp. They do camp stuff. They do camp things. And then at 9:30 or 9 o'clock when camp begins, then they kind of move into the regular program. But they're kind of doing their own thing. Maybe they get extra time to work on their projects, things like that. They got it's more camp. So you're paying for actually more time there, more stuff. It's not babysitting. It's camp.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, the extended day facilitator has her big bag of things already.
Cool.
They send that too. I mean, everything, like I said, 53 boxes.
Very good.
It was incredible.
Now, for the extended camp, they can go through invent.org and sign up through that too? Okay.
Oh, yes. If they pay full price, they can easily sign up that way.
Okay.
I've had parents who get partial scholarship, but also need that as well.
So they can sign up through.
It helps them because, an additional $80.
It's another $80, which they can't afford.
Right. So, I mean, they're able to at least afford the camp and the extended day.
Yeah.
If I help them with partial scholarship.
Yeah,
I mean, so it's a win-win.
And obviously, when we talk about with this stuff, is the kids. It really is a great thing, and we don't want the money to be the obstacle. So please reach out and help if you need that help. I mean, and I ain't gonna lie, everyone's probably, well, I could use a discount. Sure, we all can. It's tough times, but if you need help, please reach out here. And folks, if you're listening to this, man, I love the theme. I love what this camp means, what it represents. I love the fact that it's getting kids more into STEM-related stuff, and I love all of it just checks all the boxes for something I think is great for kids. Support it financially if you can, and make a donation. So at some point, Peggy's like, yeah, I got plenty of money for any. I could give everybody in camp a partial scholarship if I wanted to. That we would love to have that ability. But in the meantime, keep donating, keep doing it, and just call Peggy direct if you'd like to donate, 575-420-9955. She'll be happy to tell you how to get a hold of her to get you the money and things that too.
That's right.
But if you really want to do some reading and research about all the camp, we'll talk here in just a second about some of the things they're going to be working on. But if you want to kind of do a deep dive and kind of read about it and read the history of camp invention and why it's the camp invention's all done by the Inventors Hall of Fame,
National Inventors
Hall of Fame. These, so these folks, they're the ones that are grooming and, generating the next inventors, entrepreneurs, things like that, the ones that create the next widget we all can't live without. This is the group that kind of fosters that. So naturally, get them young, get them interested in science and math when they're elementary age kids. So by the time they're adults, they're creating the next or solving the next big problem that we have here when it comes to this stuff. So
this is what they say though, is to get the kids early. I mean, get them interested in science, because that's when their interests peak, and that's when they go, oh, maybe I should be a.
Yeah. Where the imaginative juices are flowing, and they can imagine the possibilities of we get jaded as we get older. When we're younger,
yes.
Man, I could solve the world with the stuff I'm learning.
Right,
cool.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the 4 different modules they're going to be doing this year. Now, if you've been to Camp Invention before, each year it's different. The only thing it's same is probably the structure and how the camps run, but as far as the curriculum and the projects, completely new each year. So if you've been in years, and that's the idea. We'd love to, if you got a child entering kindergarten, come on in first year. Then we'd love to come back for first grade, second grade, and all the way up through sixth grade, and maybe even be an LIT if they wanted to. We'd love to have camp, and you do. I mean, each year we've had campers that this is their second, third, fourth time coming to Camp Invention, and that kind of is proof in the pudding on what people think of it there. But so if you've been years past, these projects that Peg's about to tell you, these are new. They're different. They've never done these in Camp Invention before. So let's talk about the 4 different modules they're going to be working on this year.
All right. Well, the first one is robotic aquatics.
Okay.
And it says campers. I'm just going to read right off the flyer because the flyer is amazing. If you haven't seen one of these in town, they're pretty much all over at this point. You should, we
got them here if you want.
It's kind of like an Easter egg hunt. You gotta find them. But a robotic aquatics, it says campers create a habitat for a robotic fish, complete with a symbiotic friend, and then take their fish home in its mini tank. So they get a little fish, and they also get a jellyfish.
Nice.
And it's adorable. It's so cute. I meant to bring that, but...
Well, you brought the fish
yes,
like
I did bring
ago.
the fish, but the jellyfish came in, and I gave it to the teacher two teachers who are teaching this one.
Very cool. But they in essence, they get their own little fish aquarium.
Yes.
With the robotic fish and all that stuff. And they swim in the water and all, but they learn biology about the fish and all that. And of course, they're learning about robotics and why that fish is swimming around in that water and all that cool
exactly.
stuff.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The next one is Spacecation. Inspired by real space exploration, campers construct space packs and astro-arm devices, mine asteroids, and observe ice volcanoes.
Nice.
Yes.
So if they love space, I imagine if they even love like geology and rocks and that kind of stuff, they're going to get a kick out of that module there. So,
right. And with everything going on in space right now, with all the launches and everything, this is definitely a perfect one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the next one is NIHF's The Attic. Combining science and art, there's a STEAM in that.
Okay.
To build their own robotic artists, campers make spin art and learn that everyone can be creative.
Very cool.
So that's a combination of chemistry and art.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's really neat. I mean, I've seen those, and it's really cool.
I imagine that even translates to like some of the engineering side too, with like you ever see those videos when they watch like machines make things, just very pencils or whatever it is. It's kind of an art to see all that and how it's done. So I imagine a lot of that stuff falls into that same module there, where you kind of, so if those folks who get fascinated by watching those videos of people making stuff and like speed up time and all that, I think they're going to get a kick out of that module.
Yeah. So. And of course, all these things the children get to take home, which is really
these are
fun.
all projects they take home, show their parents, take to school in the fall, all that stuff.
Exactly. And then the last one is Marble Arcade. Campers get their game on as they experiment with the fun of physics and engineering to build their own mega marble arcades.
Okay.
And I've seen, like I said, all the material came in. Now I'm really excited.
Good deal.
Because this camp is going to be super awesome. And I think that if parents are still debating, now is the time to jump on the bandwagon and give me a call. I mean, I love to, I can help people. And they can register all the way up to the day of camp. But it's not as ideal if they do because we already have our groups formed.
Absolutely. It gives you guys times to organize, to put your groups together, lining up, making sure there's enough material to each class, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right. And when we get to a certain number of students, and we're not there yet, but we're getting close. So right now we have 5 teachers lined up.
Okay.
If we get to a certain number, we're going to have 8.
Gotcha.
And it goes from 5 to 8. And so those 3 teachers are sitting in the wings going, am I going to be teaching? I'm
Gotcha.
like, I think so. I mean, but I'm that's why I'm
We are the
encouraging
land
people.
of manana, and people like to wait till last minute.
Yeah,
to
so I'm
sign
really
up,
hoping that people, call me today, call me tomorrow.
Well, I will tell
let's
you.
get them signed up.
You're officially in the last minute. We're about a week out from camp.
I know.
So this is go time.
Yes.
Give Peggy a call today, or go sign up
weekend
to
or sign up-
event.org.
yeah, sign up this
directly.
weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, call Peggy, and of course, if you have questions, she'll be happy to answer all those questions and stuff too. 575-420-9955. Call Peggy or email her pbolin2016@gmail.com. PBOHLIN 2016@gmail.com.
And I've been telling people, spread the word. Think of people you know. You not only your own children, but nieces, nephews,
Absolutely.
grandchildren, neighbors. They're your children's friends.
Every child it's in elementary school will benefit from this.
Yes.
Or going to elementary
Yes.
school. Yeah.
And have the people call me. I mean, I went to a restaurant the other day and I talked to the waitress and she said, yes, I have 2 kids. So immediately I got her 2 scholarships.
Good deal.
And then she went in the back and she had 3 other waitresses back there and she came back. She said, okay, we all want to sign up.
Cool.
And I have this, I said, okay, let's make it happen. And I made it happen forever. And
Awesome.
that was, and I was like, okay, if I can have that everywhere I go, I'm going to be good.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, like I said,
Just
talk
pop
to
in and-
anybody, if you know anybody who might be interested, even those who donated.
Yeah.
Maybe they know people who want to take their kids to camp.
Well, I know it's the last day of school here in Roswell, so if
Yes.
you're picking up your kids and mom's talking and dad's talking there and say, hey, I'm signing my kid up for camp events, to sign yours up with it, talk to your friends and stuff
Exactly.
there at school, especially if you're not going to see them for a while after the last day here. Put the bee in their bonnet today when you're picking up
Yes,
the kids
now
and stuff.
now is the time. And,
Yeah.
and like I said, I have partial scholarship money available still.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I had the donation yesterday, which means I have more.
Good deal.
So I'm trying to use this money this year because why not? Let's use
Absolutely.
it this year. Why have it roll over?
Absolutely.
Let's get every kid in there. And I've been giving some pretty nice scholarships.
Good deal. But
Yeah.
I do want to encourage people to keep donating because
Yeah.
I don't want that well to dry. And I got to be honest, I want you to have rollover so you can get a nice nest egg for next year too. That would be the idea is to get every kid this summer that wants to be at this camp there, and then we got a starter pack for next year so we can hit the ground running, offering scholarships for next year's students too.
Yeah.
So. I'm sure if in a perfect world we'd love to make this free for everybody, but that's not how the way the world works, and so there is a cost here. But like you said, if there's a desire, we can overcome the cost. Call Peggy. Let's work that out.
Yes.
And let's make sure that your kid has every opportunity to participate, meet new friends, make these cool projects, learn this great stuff that's who knows? This might be the week of camp that turns out your kid puts them on the path to their career or to what they want to do. And next thing you know, 20 years down the road, this kid's some engineer at some company or doing something great. And you're like, yeah, that bug got bit at First United Methodist Church during Camp Invention back in June of 22 there. And, yeah,
Right.
That's what Camp Invention's about. So please sign your children up, get your family involved here. Trust me, especially like even homeschool. Like if your kids are homeschooled and stuff.
Oh, definitely. We get a lot of
adds
homeschoolers.
an element to your education that you really can't offer at home with the kids. That interaction of social and all this stuff. They get all of that at the camp here. So please sign up if you haven't already. Tell your friends, sign them up, and get ready for June 6th when this thing all gets underway here at First United Methodist Church.
Right.
Good deal. Is there any information we failed to mention?
We didn't mention the leadership interns. Those are high school kids.
Oh yeah, we do need some more of
and
those.
so
right?
I have. I think I think I have 10, but I can always use more.
Okay.
The high school students high school and college students are invaluable.
Absolutely.
They help a lot during camp.
And this again, more experience. Maybe if these students are pursuing careers and really teaching to social work to science, math, and engineering
Yes.
stuff as well. this is a good area to get more experienced or get more exposed to some of this stuff and cement that that's the path you want to take, or nope, this isn't it. I want to find something else. But now's the time to learn that, not when you're 2 years into college or something going towards that,
right,
you know?
Right. And then I always think of this camp as a family camp, because you get the elementary school kids in. You can have your middle school children in at the same time, along with your high school students who volunteer. And you can be a parent volunteer. So the entire family could be in this camp.
They could all be at the camp, either participating or serving and doing something there.
There's discounts for parents who volunteer. I mean, there's discounts everywhere.
Sure.
But I'm the one who knows about them. And so if they just call me, I can help them immensely.
Again, 575-420-9955, or shoot her an email, pbolin2016@gmail.com. And again, to do your own research, reading, and video watching, and all that stuff of Camp Invention, log on to invent.org. And if you want to register through there, go invent.org/camp, and then you can sign up directly. But if you want any of the partial scholarships and stuff, do not sign up through the website. Sign up directly through Peggy by calling her or emailing her. That's the for the scholarships. But if you don't need a scholarship or any of that stuff, you just want to go to camp and have fun, you can sign right up right now through invent.org. So.
Right. They can also Google Camp Invention.
Yeah, Google Camp Invention.
That's what I do, actually. I don't even type in that. I just go Camp Invention. It comes up and bam, I'm in.
Yeah.
You know.
And then that way you can read all about, see what it is. If you want to learn more about the National Inventors Hall of Fame and what that's all about, or any of that kind of stuff, you'll find it all right there at the website. And by the way, this Camp Invention it's all over the country. It's not just here in Roswell. So if you've got family and friends back East Coast or whatever, tell them to do some digging. There might be a Camp Invention near them that they can sign their kids up for too. So.
There's not as many in New Mexico, of course, because we're such a dispersed population.
Sure.
You know.
But yeah, I'm sure there's probably communities like this one that have been doing Camp Invention for many years, and it's a staple in their community. So who knows? One of those might be near a family or friends near you. So I'd say sign them up for those too, because they're doing the same thing they're doing here. So yeah, it's just fun. So good deal. And again, if you have any questions about anything, whether it wants to be an LIT or a high school leadership intern, or if you want to sign your children up, or if you're a parent that wants to volunteer to work at the camp, or any of these kind of things, reach out to Peggy direct, 575-420-9955, or email pbolin2016@gmail.com. And don't forget, it's Camp Invention 2022 happening June 6th through June 10th. It's going to be daily from 9 to 3:30 at First United Methodist Church.
Yes.
Downtown, right here on Pennsylvania.
Right.
And then, of course, go to invent.org/camp to sign up there. But if you need scholarships or any of that stuff, call or email Peggy direct.
Right. So. And I'm here. I mean,
that's right.
I don't go anywhere for this.
She is living, breathing, eating, sleeping Camp Invention for the next couple weeks.
That's all it is. It's like, oh, man. Yep, my whole brain is on Camp Invention. So that's why I call people back. I said, I'm thinking of it. You have other things going on in your brain. My brain is 100% Camp Invention.
You're totally invested into that.
Yes,
so.
I am.
Well, that's why we have it. So, because Peggy's spearheaded this for many years, and if I remember right, it kind of started because you want to get your family involved and stuff, and it just kind of grew from there.
I wanted my children to go into a science camp.
Yeah,
and there is no other way to do it but to bring one to Roswell.
That's right. It's like if it ain't there, do it yourself. I guess
right.
That's what Peggy did, and here we sit. A few years later with this camp that's growing each year and getting more and more children going through it, and I know COVID tried to bring it down a little bit, but didn't happen. And good news is full back to normal Camp Invention camp this year.
Yep.
Sign up. So good deal.
Yep. All right.
Well, we'll let you go. I'm sure you got more boxes to unpack and things to organize. So
I'm picking up scholarship forms.
Good deal.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. So like I said, I have scholarship applications on me. So if
good deal.
I find somebody on the street, I can give them one.
You happen to catch her at a lunch break or something,
That's right.
come by, she'll give you an application. So she got them on there. So, well, thank you, Peggy. And we'll see you next time.
All right,
okay?
thank you.
Don't work too hard, and happy Memorial Day weekend, too.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Got a feeling there's not a lot of lounging and relaxing this Memorial Day for you.
No.
So. All right, it is 7:49. Let's go ahead and pause for news. Your Kim Commando update. Also, Wall Street business. You know what? Chavis County Sports is not new because we're in the summer. So he does his Wednesday updates now. So if I play that for you, you'll learn about a couple days ago sports. So I'm not going to play that. So, all right, let's take a quick break. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Of course, developing news out of the Artesia Police Department. A high-ranking police commander was placed on administrative leave following accusations that she struck a household member. Commander Chantel Longway was arrested by Chaves County deputies on Tuesday for a warrant from Dexter Police for battery and criminal damage to property. Artesia Police Chief Kirk Roberts confirms in a statement that Longway was involved in an alleged domestic altercation at her home in Dexter. Longway was released from the jail on her own recognizance. A Roswell man identified as the victim of a tragic crash on 285 Wednesday. Police said 38-year-old Donald Flores was headed south on the highway when his pickup truck struck another southbound vehicle and then lost control. Flores was rushed to Artesia General Hospital, where he died of his injuries. The driver of the other car and 3 passengers were not seriously injured. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Let's take a peek inside the sad and crazy world of Mark Zuckerberg's Horizon World's metaverse. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. Post a job for free and find qualified candidates quickly at linkedin.com/Kim. A 21-year-old woman claims that while doing research inside Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse, she was sexually assaulted by 2 male avatars who approached her avatar and then made lewd sexual comments. Now, of course, it's impossible to physically attack anyone in the metaverse because it's not real to begin with. It's just a computer simulation that you see through an ordinary virtual reality headset. Now, to get out of the metaverse, it's simple. You just take the headset off. The woman is now conflicted and traumatized. Meanwhile, the United Nations recommends that if you kill someone's avatar in the metaverse, you should be charged with murder here in the real world. You just can't make this stuff up, folks. I post breaking tech news 24/7 at my website, commando.com. In life, you can count on 3 things: death, taxes, and your car breaking down. I can't do anything about the first 2, but I trust CarShield to protect me against unexpected auto repairs. CarShield's protection plans are only around $100 a month and cover more parts than ever before, whether your car has 5,000 or 150,000 miles. When you need a repair, there's no paperwork or headaches. Just choose the mechanic to do the work, and CarShield administrators handle the rest. Plus, you can count on CarShield to help take care of you when your car breaks down and you're stuck on the side of the road. Every protection plan includes coast-to-coast roadside assistance, rental car options, and trip reimbursement at no extra cost. Get coverage today. Lock in your price, and it will never go up at carshield.com/Kim or call 800-391-8888 to save 10% on your plan. That's carshield.com/Kim or 800-391-8888 to save 10%.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The average gas price in the United States on Thursday was $4.60 a gallon. That's according to AAA. In California, it topped $6 a gallon. The high price of oil, largely because many buyers are refusing to purchase Russian oil because of its invasion of Ukraine, is the main cause of the steep gasoline prices. Across the European Union's 27 countries, gasoline has risen 40% from a year ago to the equivalent of $8.40 a gallon. Florida will require statewide recertification of condominiums over 3 stories tall under new legislation Republican Governor Ron DeSantis signed into law Thursday as a response to the Surfside building collapse that killed 98 people. The governor's signature came the day after the House unanimously passed the bill during a special session originally called to address skyrocketing property insurance rates. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
All right, let's get out the old grocery list here. Let's see, eggs, milk, bread, insurance. I want to shop for insurance.
Fortunately, you don't have to. George Gandy Insurance is here for you. Shopping and comparing rates from different insurance carriers to save you money, time, and hassle. Visit a George Gandy Insurance location near you today.
We keep you covered. George Gandy Insurance.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor and a PTO Quick Connect that hooks up rear implements with a single click. John runs with us because to him, there's nothing more important than connecting with the land. Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear John's story at Deere.com.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
When you're not feeling well, the last thing you want to worry about is how soon you can get in to see your healthcare provider, or even finding a provider if you don't have one. Well, now you can feel better, knowing that the Loveless Healthcare Center in Roswell offers appointments for when you're not feeling well, or for checkups, annual exams, or any chronic issues that need attention. To schedule an appointment or to find a new healthcare provider, call 575-625-3222 today.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
KSVPTV.com is where you can watch the area graduation ceremonies this week. Wednesday, it's Artesia High School Baccalaureate at 7:30 p.m. Thursday, Roswell University High graduation at 6, Artesia High School graduation at 7:30. Friday, Goddard High School graduation at 7 o'clock. Saturday, it's the RISD Early College graduation at 11 a.m. and the Roswell High graduation at 7 p.m. If you can't attend or have friends and family members around the country or around the world, make sure they log on to ksvptv.com to watch the Class of 2022 graduation exercises. The broadcast of area graduations is presented by Pecos Valley Equipment, Trans Aero, Double D Animal Nutrition and Supply, Amigo Machinery, Sun Country Garden Center, J&J Home Care, Forest Tire, Carlsbad Medical, Carlsbad National Bank, the Eddy County DWI Task Force, and HF Sinclair.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 7:58. Stay tuned next hour, about 8:15 or so. We're going to talk with the folks from Healthy Kids Chavez County. Paula Camp, Becky Joyce will join us. And then I believe also with them will be Shelley Montgomery. She's for Dexter Schools. She's the kind of the head of all the food services and everything there. So we'll talk summer. Of course, kids, I ain't going to tell no one around here. Kids are all excited as most in Roswell. They're getting off today. And some around the county already are on summer break here. So everybody's excited, but that does change where kids get lunches, things like that, and opportunities for some of that stuff. So folks from Healthy Kids will join us, and we'll talk all about summer and all that stuff, and just keep reminding families to keep being active and doing all that stuff. So that's coming up next hour, and then stay around in the 9 o'clock hour. We're going to have Chavez County Manager Bill Williams join us, and he's going to give us update what's happening around Chavez County, update us on the last county commission meeting and other things like that, too. Don't forget, with graduations, we've got all of them, the local ones for you, right on ksvptv.com. Of course, I believe University High's already had theirs. Artesia's had theirs. Those are up already. Roswell, Goddard, and early college, those are coming up over the next day or two here, today and tomorrow. If you can't be at the graduation, or if you have out-of-town friends and family that would like to watch the graduations, ksvptv.com. Just scroll down. You'll see all the different various school channels for their graduations. You can watch them all there live and later on demand. So yeah, you can go back and watch Artesia's and I believe the University High already right now. They're on the website. All right, it's time for news. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The aftermath of the mass shooting in Uvalde, Texas, White House demanding Congress act on gun legislation. Senate Minority Leader McConnell choosing GOP Senator John Cornyn of Texas to negotiate with the Democrats. Cornyn notes he's supported background check legislation before, says he's willing to work on something in response to the Uvalde massacre.
I'm afraid this young man was a ticking time bomb, but I'm interested in trying to figure out what it is we might be able to do that would make that kind of event less likely in the future.
And former President Trump with some ideas about that.
We need protection in our schools. We need real protection in our schools. You know, these are forces that are very evil. They've affected the minds, and we have to stand strong.
Mr. Trump appearing this morning on the Sam Malone Show on AM 1070, The Answer in Houston. The former president to speak this afternoon at the National Rifle Association's annual convention. Opening day for that gathering amid plans for protests outside the event in Houston. Police Chief Troy Finner insisting that law and order will prevail.
All of our local partners, law enforcement, fire, all of our federal agencies, DPS, our state agencies, everybody is into the plan. We're going to have enough officers to deal with whatever we need to deal with immediately.
And that audio courtesy KTRK. Although inflation does continue to rage, busting budgets from coast to coast, new Commerce Department reports suggest it may be moderating somewhat. Its gauge of inflation rose 6.3% last month from 1 year earlier. That is below the 4-decade high that we saw for the month of March. And on Wall Street this morning, stocks sharply higher right now. The Dow is up 238 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you unhappy with your Medicare supplement plan? Are you paying too much for doctors or drugs? Did you know that you don't need to wait for the annual enrollment period to switch plans? You heard me right. With Chapter, you can apply to switch your Medicare supplement plan whenever you want. Chapter is a free service that helps you make sure you are on the right Medicare plan for your needs. Chapter searches thousands of options to find the plan that best suits your specific healthcare needs and could save you thousands of dollars each year. Because healthcare should be your choice, not a bureaucrat's decision. Whether you're already enrolled in a Medicare supplement plan or you're new to Medicare, call Chapter and make sure your choice is the right choice. It could be the last call you ever need to maximize your Medicare benefits. The service is free, so call today. Call 800-611-9422. 800-611-9422. 800-611-9422.
Ukrainian President Zelensky says Russian offensive in the Donbass may reduce the region to a desolate wasteland.
President Zelensky's nightly address was downbeat, representing his country's increasingly difficult position in the east. Russian forces are closing in on the twin strategic cities of Severodonetsk and Lysychansk, attempting to encircle and then destroy their Ukrainian defenders. But it is not just his armed forces Ukraine's president accused Russia of wanting to wipe out. He suggested their invasion was genocidal, with civilian populations killed or deported. He also accused the European Union of failing to act decisively on sanctions. A sixth package of measures is currently being held up, most notably by Hungary, a longtime Russia ally.
The BBC's Joe Inwood. Some of the more than 840 Haitians tried to reach the United States in a boat, wound up in Cuba. Say they fled violence in their homeland. News and analysis, townhall.com. Hong Kong's incoming leader will be reporting to his masters in Beijing on Sunday.
John Lee is making the trip to accept a letter officially approving his appointment as the city's next chief executive. Lee's expected to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping during the trip, where he's also going to present the lineup for his cabinet for approval. The meeting will be Lee's first with China's top officials since he won the uncontested leadership election on May 8th with 99.2% of all votes from an election committee that's largely made up of pro-Beijing members. Rhonda Rockstra reporting.
The U.S. Navy says newly analyzed documents show 13 World War II sailors previously thought to have been unaccounted for after a Japanese sub torpedoed their ship were actually buried at sea. The sailors from the USS Indianapolis, sunk by Japanese torpedoes July 30th, 1945. More than 800 were killed. More on these stories. Townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Super Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Memorial Day weekend.
Yes. Long weekend ahead.
Last day of school.
Mm-hmm.
Some already got last day of school. Others are getting it today.
Yep.
But,
Yep. Rhiannon's last day was today. It is today. 1:30 is
yes,
the release date.
Oh, I'm very aware.
Mm-hmm. So
my wife's like, let him out at 1:40, and we're right out the door as soon as we turn in keys and make sure everything's packed up and good for now.
Right.
So, yeah.
Pack up all the half-empty liquor bottles in the teacher's lounge. I wonder now, I don't know about elementary or middle, but I wonder if high school still does the same thing that we did every single year I was a high schooler.
What's that?
At Roswell High, it's chaos.
Yeah?
Because you have to clean out your lockers.
Right.
So I feel so bad for custodial staff.
Yeah, a lot of it just ends up.
Because, no, it's not even like I'm just going to toss out. It's like a school's out for the summer. They lose their minds. I lost my mind.
Although, if one is entrepreneurial, might score a lot of good free stuff.
That's true.
Because I'm thinking these kids don't care, so they're just throwing jackets and, you know what I mean? Like they clean the locker out but don't want to take it home.
Now,
so they just literally dump it, and there's probably, $200 jackets sitting in there and whatever else.
And this is where social stigma takes over. Because, there's a lot of value that's left in those hallways. But how popular is the kid that's going to wait until after everybody gets out and just scans the place for valuables?
In a world like that, the custodian is king.
Custodian. In a world of people who don't care, custodians are king. That's true. That is
scoring left and right.
It's lucrative.
Yeah,
it's lucrative.
I'm just saying.
And honestly, well earned for the entire year of having to sprinkle sawdust on top of freshly puked whatever. And
I imagine there's a few sandwiches from last November that are sitting
wedged in the back of the locker.
Especially the boys. I'm sure every boy's locker looks like every high school boy's room at home. Smells like a dirty butt.
And always moist. Like not like from anything specifically, just everything in there is a little wet. Yeah, that pretty much described my locker most of high school. The cool thing was we got to keep I think this was the thing. We got to keep our lockers throughout the entirety of high school. Like for
the same one?
Yeah, the same one.
I think we got a new one each year.
I'm pretty sure that was the case. Maybe we got a new one once, but I think we had the same. I feel like we had the same lockers. Again, this is 20 years. I've literally 20 years. Crap, this week. Wait, what's today's date? I graduated May 25th, 2002. So we're just over 20 years from my graduation.
Yeah. I'm at 31. Yeah, 31.
Wow, school went late. Well, I guess, because of COVID. School just went late this year.
Well, and I went East Coast, so we didn't get out till June anyway, normally. Except for my senior year, we got out like Memorial Day weekend as our grad. Usually high school seniors get out like a week before everybody else.
That's how ours was, because we finished, and then they finished out the rest of school.
Yeah.
Their last day, I think, was our graduation day. It was a Friday.
Okay. Yeah, but I think we got new lockers each year.
That could be something I'm fabricating.
You know what? I think that's true, because I remember like my freshman year, it was like way down on one end, and then by my senior year, it was like down the teacher side right by. So it was like literally, like, because I told you I used to park on the teacher side,
right.
So my locker was on that, so I could literally hit my locker, walk 10 feet to the door, boom, I'm out in the parking lot by my car.
Nice.
So it was very handy.
Yeah,
and I had that like my senior and I think junior. I had a locker in that hallway.
It's evasive action level.
Yeah, it was like they wanted me to do the fairy stuff.
Look, we know what you're going to do. All right, we know what you're doing.
Right.
Let's just
make it easier for you.
That makes sense, because my senior year, I mean, teachers even are just like, oh, could we please?
Yeah. Yep. I know exactly how that is.
Welcome to summertime.
That's right. We'll enjoy it. Well, speaking of summer, we have the ladies from Healthy Kids Chaves County joining us. I believe Shelley Montgomery with Dexter Schools also with us, and of course we'll talk now that the kids are getting out for summer here, and talk about summer and availabilities to families and things like that. For because let's face it, when the kids go home, then at the breakfast, lunch, those are meals that they usually get at school that they're going to have to be on their own for, and families. That's a big problem. People have issues getting that stuff. So, Healthy Kids Chaves County, go and join us. We'll talk all about ways to help with that stuff during this summer. And of course, reminded, families to stay active and do all that good stuff, too. So, that'll be here in a few minutes. Got to thank the fine folks at McDonald's, as they do each and every Friday, provide us with delicious breakfast treats. And, Sean, you did McDonald's without even our McDonald's. Because that's his routine with his kids. Do they eat anything other than McDonald's in the morning? Like, are they? That's like their only thing they will eat, or is it?
It's when I'm having to get her to school. I'm not going to prepare breakfast. She will eat. Like my kids enjoy bacon, eggs, chocolate chip pancakes is one we've recently started working into the.
Who doesn't like those?
Yeah, exactly. But weirdly, they like them dry.
Really,
like
with
no syrup, no extra syrup. It's
chocolate chip pancakes are a bit of an enigma there, because you're like, do you want to put maple syrup?
It's like,
do you want to just put whipped cream? What's the right move?
It's almost like a McGriddle.
Yeah. By the way, we're talking to Healthy Kids Chaves County.
Right. Hey, we go out for a day of activity after they eat chocolate chip pancakes. I would argue that maybe we need to change the way we do breakfast items, because waffles, pancakes, stuff like that, it makes you logy.
Well, it's loaded with carbs.
So why don't we switch things up a bit? Have a little, maybe like a light Caesar salad for breakfast, and then chocolate chip pancakes for dinner. Weigh yourself down right at the end.
I feel like that's not a smart move.
It's probably not healthy,
I feel like that's not the answer either. I'm thinking if you're going to, at least if you eat it in the morning, you have the day to burn it off.
Yeah, but I just feel like in the mindset of like, after I eat a chocolate chip pancake or two, I want a nap.
Yeah. This is I
can take a night nap.
This is why, anyway.
Maybe I'll sleep better after chocolate chip pancakes. Who knows? Maybe those are the melatonin that I'm missing.
I feel like we're counterproductive at this point. Anyway, go to McDonald's.
Yes.
Big thank you to McDonald's. They got you covered. Don't forget, especially this weekend with the Memorial Day weekend, you probably got cookouts and all kind of things planned. But when you do that, then you tend to like, oh yeah, what are we going to do for breakfast? What are we going to do? Swing on by. McDonald's got you covered. You can order through the app, pick it up through drive-through, or even have it delivered, and they got you covered and all that stuff. So, and get the app and take advantage of exclusive deals. Build your rewards up too.
Yes. I was actually just going to check how many
I used.
Points. I think I'm low on points now because I just recently used it for an iced coffee.
I still have a lot, and I just used it to get a large fry the other day.
Oh.
Wednesday I had a large fry. I ordered a my double fillet of fish, but I wanted some fries, so I got a surprise with it, and I used my points.
I ordered that. Oh, I am low, 642. Oh, I ordered a double fillet of fish last night, and
so you had a good meal.
And I have to tell you, I was disappointed.
Why?
It was too much fish in one sandwich.
You're blasphemy.
No, I'm serious. It was too much fish in one sandwich. I ventured down your path and tried things your way and said, you know what? Fine. We're going to do things the Mike Winters way. I'm going to go with the double fillet. It was an unwieldy sandwich.
Yeah.
I had to open my jaw too wide to actually get at it. The fillet to bun ratio was off. So I feel like I was right.
No.
I feel like I'm right. And I have to go with 2 single fillets from now on.
Because just 2 weeks ago, you said, ooh. I just got a text. Sean is wrong. Okay. Boom. Right out the bat.
Fair enough. Guess I'll just go.
Trust me. Take it from the guy who's got 14,000 points right now. Double fillet of fish.
You got 14,000?
I do.
You're a point hoarder. That's what you... Shiminy Christmas, dude. You're up there on Point Mountain, just sitting high on the hog, and points rain down upon you, while us point poppers over here in 642 point land. It's because we have to live off of our points. Well, we don't have dollars to throw at McDonald's. We have to live off our points, man.
Truth is, I forget half.
I was up to 8,000 at one point.
Yeah.
Yes, and I used them.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to accrue some more. Don't worry, McDonald's. I'll be back.
I'd lend you some points. I don't think they let you do that. Yeah.
I'm going to be sitting in front of the McDonald's with a cup.
Yeah.
Like a McDonald's cup, obviously. Hey, man, can you spare some points?
Yeah.
Brother needs me
I'm living large.
muffin.
I'm living large here. I might cash in some points today. We'll see. Cash me some
Save
points.
it up, dude. You're like 100 points away from the bomber jacket.
I'm telling you, a couple more, I get a franchise.
That's it.
All right. It is 8:16.
They're going to have to build you a new Tesla parking spot.
You know what? I'm the Elon Musk of McDonald's points. What's up?
I'm Elon McMusk.
I'm points heavy. Ain't no lie.
I might just go buy Twitter. With all these points.
I'd like to buy Twitter with my McDonald's points, please. I've got a lot.
I'd like to cash these. You just slide a single piece of paper that's folded across. I feel that this is a reasonable offer.
I'm going to make an offer you can't refuse.
They open at 14,000 McDonald's points.
You know how many Big Macs you can get with that?
Like 4.
Quarter pounders, Happy
I'm
Meals.
telling you. Oh, and by the way, they're 2 for $6 right now.
Yeah?
Yeah. Two quarter pounders, Big Macs, 10-piece nuggets, I think filet for $6.
Nice. So take advantage today. All right, it is 8:17. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got a hot, sunny, and windy holiday weekend coming up. Just over the 100-degree mark today with sunshine, a little bit gusty, clear for the overnight hours. We're in the mid-60s, and then about 105 for tomorrow afternoon. Sunshine and wind kicking up to 35 miles per hour. Windy with our highs near 100 on Sunday and Memorial Day. That's your latest forecast. This is staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 72 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 29% with winds out of the southeast at 8 miles per hour. All that cooler temps this early in the week are all gone. It's all hot and windy and all that for the next couple days. But there's moisture in the future. Not for like a week, but it's in the future. But today, sunny. Expect highs 101. Winds out of the south 10 to 20. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 64 degrees with south winds 10 to 15. Saturday, red flag warning. That's going to kick in at 11, remain in effect through 8 p.m. Sunny, hot 104 tomorrow. Winds will be breezy out of the south, 5 to 15 early. Later in the day, increasing 15 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 64. Winds remaining breezy out of the southwest, 20 to 25. They'll drop down 10 to 15 after midnight. Sunny on Sunday. They also have a fire weather watch from 9 to 8 on Sunday. They're looking at, once again, Temps right around 100. Winds will be windier out of the southwest, 10 to 20 early. Later in the day, increasing 20 to 30. Gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. And then for your actual Memorial Day Monday, sunny, hot, windy, highs right around 100. And then it's going to be hot on Tuesday of next week. But they're saying by Wednesday and Thursday, we're looking at like 40% chances of rain, highs in the upper 80s. So we got to get through this hot spell, but maybe by mid to later part of next week, we'll see a respite and all of that. All right, it is 8:19. We're going to take about a 3-minute break, and then we're going to talk with the folks from Healthy Kids Chavez County on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
J. Block for governor. J. Block, conservative, veteran, leader. J. Block is the only choice to stand up and defeat Michelle Lujan Grisham. Mr. Block is a veteran of combat, serving in Afghanistan, a nuclear commander, and winner of the New Mexico State Republican Convention. As an America First conservative, Mr. Block has turned blue seats red and has never lost a race. Mr. Block will end the madness in Santa Fe once and for all. He's not a weatherman. He's not a rhino. J. Block is a conservative, veteran, and a leader. Vote June 7th in the Republican primary.
Paid for by Friends for J. Block.
It's been a long, cold, boring winter, and children in neighborhoods everywhere are waiting to hear those magical words. The pool's open! Summer weather has finally rolled around. Make sure your pool is ready. Preparing and maintaining your pool for summer the right way will create a season full of smiles instead of headaches and make your life much easier. Soft Swim, the chlorine-free sanitizing system by BioGuard, only at Mays Lumber Company.
You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
You're invited. Car Affair 2022, presented by the Cars Club of Carlsbad. Saturday, June 4th, at the beach in Carlsbad. Early registration is Friday with a cruise. Then Saturday, car registration starts at 8 a.m. and ends at 10:30. Enjoy music, food, car-related swap meet, 5K run, door prizes, and a special Tri-5 Chevys area. To register or for more information, visit carsclubofcarlsbad.com or Carlsbad Automotive Restoration Society on Facebook. Enjoy Carlsbad's biggest car show, Saturday, June 4th at the beach. Ad paid for by Carlsbad Lodgers Tax.
Summertime means blowout time. The National Used Car Blowout is on this month at Roswell Honda with deeper discounts on a selection of amazing vehicles than Roswell Honda has seen all year. Like a 2017 Ford Escape for only $329 a month, a 2015 Honda CR-V for just $309 a month, or a 2013 Nissan Sentra for only $199 a month. Zero down, no payments for 90 days, and top dollar for your trade. The blowout is on all month long at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
KSVPTV.com is where you can watch the area graduation ceremonies this week. Wednesday, it's Artesia High School Baccalaureate at 7:30 p.m. Thursday, Roswell University High graduation at 6, Artesia High School graduation at 7:30. Friday, Goddard High School graduation at 7 o'clock. Saturday, it's the RISD Early College graduation at 11 a.m. and the Roswell High graduation at 7 p.m. If you can't attend or have friends and family members around the country or around the world, make sure they log on to ksvptv.com to watch the Class of 2022 graduation exercises. The broadcast of area graduations is presented by Pecos Valley Equipment, Trans Aero, Double D Animal Nutrition and Supply, Amigo Machinery, Sun Country Garden Center, J&J Home Care, Forest Tire, Carlsbad Medical, Carlsbad National Bank, the Eddy County DWI Task Force, and HF Sinclair.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Healthy Kids Chavez County, of course, Becky Joyce and Paula Camp back with us, and then also joining us from Dexter Schools as well, Shelley Montgomery back with us too. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Very good.
Good. I know everyone ready for summer now, and I don't know if this. Do you guys have a busy time of the year, or is it kind of? Or is this it? I mean, or is it get? I think you're equally busy during when the kids are in school, or when I know Shelley, you obviously are, but
yes.
But the summers aren't exactly breaks for you either.
No, We still cook all summer.
Yeah,
So I was
still
just
have
wondering.
to eat.
That's right. People still got to eat, but
Right.
and that's what we're here to talk about today, because obviously kids are
Yes.
either out of school or about to be out of school, and let's face it. It's in some families here in Chavez County, it's a problem because they get most of their food at school. They'll get breakfast and at least 2 meals a day on most of them at the school, and so now that's 2 meals they're not going to get for the next 2.5 months here. So summer programs, there's definitely other alternatives and options for families here that we want to put on people's radar and make sure no one goes hungry this summer, and make sure that they've got ample opportunity to food and of course recreation and all that stuff too.
Right.
We don't want to do all that. So parents, listen up the next 20-30 minutes here. There's going to be a lot of good information for you.
Absolutely.
So well, first off, how's things in Dexter? How's the school? How'd everything go there? Are you guys doing well? And
Everybody is doing good in Dexter. We finished up yesterday, so it's kind of a sigh of relief.
Everybody's
for today.
happy. Yeah.
But summer lunch starts Tuesday.
Okay.
So we're going to fire up Tuesday, and we're going to have a grab and go there at the high school.
Okay.
And it'll be, to start off with, breakfast and lunch combo in the same bag.
Okay.
And we're going to serve that from 8:30 to 9:30.
Okay.
And so it's just going to be a grab and go, drive up there just like last year, and we'll have that ready for you. For lunch, we're going to serve, of course, at the high school.
Okay.
And they're having summer school going on there at the middle school and high school, so
Okay.
we'll serve those kids as well.
Okay.
And then also, we're going to have 2 locations. We're going to go out to Midway and go there on at 63 Yakima Road.
Okay.
At the Midway Assembly of God Church.
Okay.
And we're going to serve lunch there from 11 to 12.
Okay.
And then also at the Midway Fire Department at 6477 Templeton Road.
Okay.
And we're going to serve there from 12 to 1.
Perfect. Okay.
So we want everybody to come out.
And these locations, they serve all Chavez County, right? So
Anybody
wherever,
can come.
Yeah, if you have. So what I'm saying is, if you're here and you happen to go there, don't
Yep.
worry, you can come and visit, or vice versa. If you're,
Yes.
if you're in that area and need food, come visit. They'll make sure the kids are fed.
And there's no
Yes.
requirements for, like, who can do that?
Well, so that was the next thing that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Is because it's seamless summer again this year.
Okay.
So that's good. Any kids 18 and under can come and get food. It doesn't matter what school, what county, whatever. If you're a kid, you can
And you
have
need home
food.
food, and we got food for you.
Yes.
Awesome.
The thing that's going to be a little different is this year all of the waivers from the pandemic expire.
Okay.
So what the difference for summer lunch will be is, before, a parent could come and get food sacks for all of their students or their children. The kids have to be present this year.
So for every, you get 1 sack per child per body, basically. You
Yes.
can't say I need 5 for all my kids. All 5 kids must
Okay.
be present
Yes.
to receive the sack lunch personally.
And that
Yes.
starts
Perfect.
July 1.
Yes, starts July 1.
Very good. Okay.
It'll still be seamless summer. We've been on seamless summer all through the pandemic, which was that any kid, whatever the age, could go to any school and get a meal.
Okay.
But not anymore.
Well, maybe families can work out carpools or something like that, where maybe one adult's in charge of taking them
Sure.
each day or meal or whatever to go and pick up, for the family there for the street or whatever. Like, maybe a couple houses, like, hey, I'll
Yes.
take all the kids today. Can you take them tomorrow? Kind of thing. But please make note that is a change beginning July 1. And yeah, I know it's minor inconvenience, but just pound in the car and we'll make sure we get the meals here. And trust me, if we'd love to do it the other way, but this is the rules, and so we want to make sure we abide by them.
Well,
so,
exactly.
yeah.
And we had also invited Kim Meeks, the food service director from Roswell, and she was unable to make it. So Paula has her information.
Okay, for the Roswells.
And they
Yes.
have a lot of sites that are in walking
They do.
distance. So that's really exciting.
Good deal.
They're going to be at Goddard and Roswell High Schools.
Okay.
Both of them. They'll be at Carpenter Park, where
Okay.
the splash pad is, so
Okay.
they could go have lunch and enjoy the
And then
splash
cool off?
pad.
Yeah.
Sure. There's going to be a site at the college, out by the college.
Okay, down on the south end there.
Yes. Also, Pokhorn Park.
Okay.
Which is near the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes.
The other
They have a-
splash pad.
Yeah, the other
Right,
splash pad.
The
Yeah,
other
exactly.
one, yes. So, and Spring River Park, the zoo. so they could go to the park and then maybe go to the zoo. So, there's lots of things
pretty
going
much
on.
Wherever you're at, there's going to be one within a mile or two of you.
And the Aquatic Center and Skate Park by Cielo Grande.
Okay, so folks on that end.
That's another site. Missouri Avenue is the other site.
Excellent.
And their serve time is 8 to 1.
Okay. Now, are these similar, like, any kid that comes that needs a meal?
It's the same rules as Shelley spoke about.
But like you said, beginning July 1 there.
It's going to be a little different.
Sure.
They'll have breakfast in the morning from 8 to 9, and then they'll come back for lunch from 11 to 1.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's a little
you can see
different
their smiling
in July.
faces twice. I like that.
Yeah. And then, of course, Roswell's having summer school, but it's different this year.
Okay.
They're having it 2 weeks at a time. Some schools are in June. Some schools are in July.
Okay, so it depends on which school your student attends.
Yes, if you're at summer school, then you will get fed.
Gotcha.
So
it'll be just like a regular school day curriculum
Berendo,
style.
Del Norte, Monterey, Valley View, and East Grand Plains are in June 13th to the 24th.
Okay.
And then in July is Military Heights, Nancy Lopez, Pecos, Sunset, Washington Avenue, Missouri Avenue. I think I named everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the bulk there in July, but there's, but there are some schools there in June.
There's like 5 in one and 7 in the other.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
But so
they'll get lunch.
And I'm sure if you have any questions about that, don't forget to talk to your principal before you leave today and get that arrangements, like you said.
And they
to
can
get
call
that done.
Kim Meeks. Just call the central office.
Okay, for the
and
food
ask
stuff.
For
If you
Kim.
have any questions.
And the same with Shelley.
Yep. Yes, they can always call and ask for us, and we'll answer any questions.
Good deal.
We want to feed the kids, all the kids.
Well, and that's just it. We want to make sure everyone has that opportunity here. So make sure and it's great that, whether sounds like no matter where you're at in Chaves County, there is a place where you can pick up food within a few miles from you.
And
even
in
when you get out in the
Dexter,
county a little bit, it's not that
They don't have it at Lake Arthur. They're not serving at Lake Arthur or Hagerman.
Right.
Okay.
So they can both go to Dexter, or if they're in Roswell, they
come
can
on
come
in.
to a Roswell
Yeah, they got to come to
site.
town to run errands
Go to
or
the grocery
do
store,
whatever.
whatever.
Swing on by any of those locations here, and I'm thinking if you hit Pocorn or Carpenter Park, you bring your bathing suit and go ahead.
Right,
and,
there's especially in Roswell.
Go get
with
the splash pad there.
With them all being, a lot of them being at parks,
Yeah.
that's a great opportunity to kind of kill some time.
Absolutely.
With the kids.
And
Let them eat a little bit.
Sure.
Bring
Run
a book.
around.
You can sit
Exactly.
there and watch, read your book while the kids play.
Yeah.
And
they'll have a great time over
Right.
there in the splash pad.
And, and the aquatic center's got everything open now.
Absolutely.
Their outdoor pool, their indoor
Yeah,
pool.
they had the soft opening for the outdoor pool this weekend, and I know. Be warned, there's still short lifeguards.
Right, I was going to mention that.
So
yeah.
they're going to have to stagger hours of the indoor-outdoor pool. How we fix that? Hire more lifeguards. And they're hiring. So if you know anybody that wants to be a lifeguard, go talk to the city of Roswell. They're looking for more.
Right, they need more, and they've got certified people to do the training now.
Yeah, good deal.
So there's no excuse, and there's lots of kids that are looking for jobs, and that's a great job to have in the summertime.
I thought that was like the cool kid job when I was
Right,
growing up, because they were always just standing there looking pretty in their bathing suits most of the time, Like the ladies get all the head turning from the guys get the head turning from the girls, get the tan, the muscle. I mean, it doesn't matter, but they're just sitting there. We all watch Baywatch. That's what it is. We all think it's Baywatch, and we run in slow motion to music, the whole thing, But that is a pretty cool. And obviously, it's a very serious and a lot of training. But but in the meantime, it's a whole lot of standing there and looking around and looking kind of people being jealous of you. Like, oh, lucky. I don't know what it is. Everyone seems to be. That's like there's power in that whistle.
It's the uniform. It's the uniform.
Or lack thereof.
Well, there's lots of opportunities also for all their sports camps that the rec center has this summer, and the zoo camps.
Absolutely.
And,
Camp Invention was one we were just talking about last hour.
Soccer tournaments and
sports camp, that big sports camp at Christchurch
right.
is fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
definitely take these opportunities to get you and of course I'm sure many churches are going to be doing vacation Bible schools this summer.
Sure.
Look for those and sign them up. Yeah, those are all free of charge.
At the churches, it's free.
And a lot of them, and of course they'll get them active and stuff and feed them at a lot of them there too. So that's another resource for those kind of things if you need help. So please take advantage of all the stuff that the schools are offering, the city's offering. Private churches and organizations are doing. I know Boys and Girls Clubs got their big summer program. That's an option for families too if you're looking. And of course, as far as food goes, they help. And as far like you can sign up a very affordable summer program where they'll pick the kids up. They do the whole feed them curriculum. And so if because you're at work all day or whatever, that's another great option for your families too. So utilize all of these resources, everything.
And Boys and Girls Club would be a great option for people this summer. And I know Amy Steen, the ICANN educator at Chaves County Extension Office, has been going once a week. She's been planting with them. She's been teaching them about nutrition.
Nice.
We'll be going in June. We're going to do 5210 with the group.
Great.
So they've got a lot of good things going on. And, they've been renovated. It's a really nice facility. They're going to be gardening more.
Good deal.
So, and they take them in their little van to swim.
Yes.
Nice.
Some of the
So they do little field trips and things around the community too as well. So utilize all of this. This is how.
There's lots of options to keep the kids doing healthy, busy activities.
And of course, even I know we talk physical and stuff, but libraries doing their summer reading program.
Yes.
That's
Which
a
is
great,
excellent.
valuable thing that the kids and adults can do that with them. So, like if you have like too young to read toddlers, you can read books to them, and that counts. So you as an adult can get like gift cards and things for participating too. So it is rewards for the adults as much as it is for the kids. But you can that's a great way to get the whole family involved. So there's so many activities this summer, some ways, and of course with the food here, please if you're in Dexter and all that, there's several spots out there going on, and of course does Dexter Schools like Facebook page have like all this information listed there? Yes. People want to go back and reference like seeing something visual. I'm sure it's on the Healthy Kids Chaves County
on our Facebook
page as well too. So if you want to print these off and put them on your fridge or something like that.
Yes, and we're going to make some flyers and put around also.
Good deal.
So those
and
will
Roswell
be available.
has a flyer.
Yes. Yeah. And while we're talking about that, I need to mention that this coming school year, Roswell will be a totally CEP school.
Okay.
Schools, all of them, which means, and what CEP stands for is Community Eligibility Provision.
Okay.
And that means every student in Roswell will get breakfast and lunch free of charge.
Oh, cool.
So that's
so they're able to work
new
that in starting in the fall here, this school,
yes.
this 2022-23 school year.
Yes, and before all of their elementaries, middle schools qualified, but starting this year, their high schools will also qualify.
Great.
So that'll be good. And it's the same for Dexter. All of our students in Dexter were on the CEP, and they'll all eat breakfast and lunch free of charge.
Excellent.
And we're working with Hagerman and Lake Arthur to get them the same.
Excellent. So
Shelley is.
So keep your fingers crossed. Keep waiting. We'll be making those announcements for those areas as well too.
And we want kids to eat.
Are they going to try to make that for the fall, or is it going to be maybe another year for those communities? You think?
I haven't heard back. I think they filled out applications.
We're just waiting and seeing.
Yes.
Gotcha.
For Hagerman and Lake Arthur.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Roswell Dexter already locked down.
We already got ours done.
Right.
It's a pretty long process that you have to go through to fill out those applications.
Well, I imagine at some point the goal is to have every school district in the entire state having that.
It would be nice.
Yeah, I think that the eventual goal there, but. Right. You got to get there first. So.
Yes.
Right.
But in the meantime, definitely that'll be a great option for families here in the fall for, because I remember when I was in high school, that was a big thing to have breakfast there. Like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't just part of a program or nothing. We just got there early and got breakfast, and
we didn't get breakfast.
We didn't.
I'm too old for that.
Yeah.
I must be too.
They had, this was a few years ago, but I graduated in 91, so that would have put it like late 80s when this was happening. Our high school had, and this was Maryland too, this was back east. So, but yeah, they used to do, it was sausage biscuits for like the,
that's a fave.
Yeah, and that was kind of the breakfast.
Break now.
In
Roswell. Yeah.
In Roswell, they call it a burrito break.
Nice.
Yeah.
My office should have a burrito break. I think all businesses should have a burrito break.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Like, why do we not have all this? It should be a thing.
Well, and one other thing to kind of keep in mind as we're talking about all of this food and
Mm-hmm.
lunch and breakfast and all that, there's still problems with the food chain supply.
Yeah, so be patient.
So some of those things, and that's where the waivers helped, because those waivers covered, if you couldn't get your dark green vegetable, they would let us serve something else. And of course, those are going away July 1. So it's going to be tough.
Even with supply and demand still tricky, they're not going to try to. I mean, is there people trying to extend it a little bit at least,
They're
or is
working on it.
that fight going on at
It's
least?
going on, but I don't think
You don't think it's going to make headway?
No, not right
well,
now.
maybe the reverse will happen, and the supply chain will start freeing up a little bit, and we'll start
sure
seeing.
hope.
I hope at some point, but I know now it feels weird because you're just like, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. You really don't know in the world we live in, because it seems like we do something and then we hear things like, what was the latest one? Monkeypox.
Oh yeah,
going on?
Yeah, that's the latest.
Yeah, so it's kind of.
Well, and everybody's feeling that pinch because when you go to the grocery store, some of the shelves are empty. You can't get everything you need, and prices have
And not to mention the
obviously
cost
increased.
of everything. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yes.
And let's
So-
face it, going out to eat is very expensive right now, even when it's, fast food. So
Yes.
I'm guessing a lot of people are also looking to make more food at home
Yes.
too. So demand there has probably gone up because they can't afford to eat out as often as they were
Which
doing.
can be a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's not necessarily
As
a bad
long
thing.
as they can get the food to prepare at home.
Sure. Well, and we've talked about this a bunch of times. There's ways to work around some of this stuff here. We always talk healthier options, when we talk like your pizzas and things like that. Same in this world too. It's just you got to get creative, or you get a little,
do.
maybe maybe you try a different type of tomato or something like that, or go with and who knows, you might stumble to something that's better every once in a while. You ever make a recipe and you have to change the ingredients a little bit because it's not available, and then you turn out, you know what, this is kind of a good little twist on this
and don't
meal.
forget about Graves Farms. We've got Graves Farms.
Yeah.
We'll have the farmers market in July.
Yeah,
And
the
that's
dirt
huge.
doesn't know
That'll
about
be good.
COVID there, and so they keep
That's
growing
right.
the fresh
Right.
produce, and it's right there. And if you've never been out to the Graves Farm and Garden Store, make this weekend your first time. Then go out there and go see every trip is a new adventure.
It is.
Because it's just whatever the crops are fresh that week, but there's staples like certain times of the year. You go in the fall, you can bet your bottom dollar is going to be green chili out there. But then you come in, there's eggs sometimes, or potatoes, or corn, or peppers, and then also some of the local folks that make jellies and salsas and things like that. Honey, local honey, which by the way, in case you didn't know, local honey is much more beneficial to you than I guess non-local or store-bought honey, because they say that
it's from your area.
Yeah, they say some of the properties and stuff is actually healthier for you, build better immune system, better. It's
helps with allergies.
Yeah, allergies as well too. It's really it's one of God's nature's little remedies for us here. So go grab you a honey bear out there this weekend from some local honey. It may not be in a bear. I don't know. It feels like all honey should come in a bear. Feels like it should come in a bear for some reason.
Well,
exactly.
And speaking of all of this local stuff, we've already heard from our New Mexico Grown grants that schools apply for, and Roswell received money, and so did Dexter.
Good.
And so did Hagerman.
Good.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
And as long as we're giving kudos to the governor, we got extra money. She appropriated some more money, so we got
Great.
a little bit more money this year to spend on local food. So
Excellent.
Worth.
I'm sure every single penny will be invested into that too.
Absolutely, and it helps our local economy grow.
I think
you're buying local.
I think at some point when people catch on, maybe who knows, in 20 years we're going to have more of that where we're getting our produce from our own gardens more than we are from grocery stores.
Well, and we
things
do
like that. That'd be
gardens with
great.
the schools, and we try to promote that. This year has been difficult, number one, because it's so dry. It's been so dry.
It is
And
very
then
tough to do. Yeah, you're
They
right.
changed their summer school schedule, so
Okay.
they're not going to be at summer school as long. So people aren't going to be able to take care of them. So there's a couple of schools we're going to garden with in August. I mean, Pecos is still going strong.
Okay.
They have a watering system built
good.
in their beds.
Cool.
So that's very handy.
Built a little irrigate. That's great. I love that.
Yes, and there's other schools that Nancy Lopez has dirt and seeds, and they're trying to get started. But Del Norte, which we haven't had a garden there before, and East Grand Plains are both going to plant squash and pumpkins in August.
Awesome.
Because they can be fall produce.
Perfect. Yeah.
And the kids can have the pumpkin patch. And so we're excited about that. And it might be something we have to think about for the future for a lot of our gardens.
Absolutely.
And Lake Arthur has a fabulous community garden that they're starting.
And I think we should have more of those, too.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be great if we had
beds, and they have somebody in the summer to take care of it, from the community.
I think a place like Cahoon Park, would be a great place where they just set up, patch off an acre of land out there or something and just say, here's the community garden and you want to, grow, and we get some way to organize it, and everybody takes a little slice of it. Yeah.
It takes a lot of work.
I think it'll be great. Next thing you know, we got a thing, and maybe all that stuff shows up on the courthouse lawn at the farmer's market here in the summer,
Well, and we've used in Hagerman FFA, Cody Montez helps us out a lot, and with her FFA students, and they cleaned up and they've got their garden going. So, different schools, we're trying to promote that because we agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
If that's not a way of life, it's certainly an easier way of life if you can go out and pick your tomatoes in your yard.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the store when they don't have as good a product and it's pricey.
And I think this is, the world we live in now. Technology's kind of moved us this way, because I'm thinking, certainly our ancestors and everything, they didn't have a grocery store on the corners and things like that. So it's grow your own. Yep. And so basically they would raise and their own food and supplement with trip to the stores. And now it's kind of the other way around. Mm-hmm. And maybe we need to find that balance again where we're, maybe not to the point where we're raising our own beef and everything, but to a point where, you know what? We all have a garden in our backyard. We all, whatever your favorite vegetables are, corn or tomatoes, wherever it is, you just put a couple rows out there. Next thing you know, that for your family, that's probably enough tomatoes for the season, or for and next thing you know, you're not buying that. And we could do that now. You don't even have to wait for anything. Go to Roswell Seed or go to your favorite place and pick up some seeds and start plant. Yeah, start planting in your backyard or on your patio or wherever you got a little space to put a pot in some seeds.
You could just buy a tomato plant and stick it in a pot. And you probably have more tomatoes than you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Share with
it's
your
that
neighbors.
easy to do something like that. So if you start there, and then you catch the bug, and you're kind of like, man, I love doing this. I'm going to try next season. I'm going to try this, and try next thing you know, you got a full on garden going on right there. But that's what we.
And if you want to get real wild, you can always learn to can.
Yes.
Put some of that up from your garden.
Absolutely.
And the extension office, Chaves County Extension Office, would help with that.
They'll do train you up a little bit.
Yes, Tamara Schubert.
Yeah, she has a lot of great stuff.
Her, and yes, they can help you get started with those things. So in January, when you're don't have the fresh product, you can go and use your canned stuff.
Or frozen.
Or freeze them. I know a lot of people freeze green chilies. Can you can them too? I'm guessing you could.
I don't know. I freeze mine.
Yeah, most people do, but I'm wondering if you could like maybe you don't have as much room in the fridge or freezer there. Maybe you can can some. I'm guessing.
You might can.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
Corn is really good frozen.
Sure. Of course, you do your fruits and stuff. A lot of people make jellies and jams out of those things. Maybe you start making your own jellies, jams, and things like that.
You can dry fruit.
Yeah, absolutely.
For snacks.
And even freeze it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's lots of options. It does take time and work.
But you know what you're going to find? You're going to find probably better tasting foods and all
definitely.
that. Not complain anything, but when you buy your fruits and vegetables in the grocery store, it's kind of mass produced. There's lots of ingenuity involved to make sure to get the most yield out of these crops and color, shape, things that make them look more appealing and all that. But you sometimes sacrifice taste when you do that.
Absolutely.
And you don't realize it until you eat like a local grown tomato or piece of produce. And then right after, when you've been eating apples at the grocery store your whole life, and next thing you know, you get like right off the tree apple, it's going to taste way different than that apple you've been buying at the grocery store all the time.
My husband won't eat store-bought tomatoes. He will only eat fresh tomatoes. He just gives them up because a lot of them don't have any flavor at all.
Gotcha. So and so that's what we're talking about here. So you might spoil yourself and be like, and like Paula's husband, you're like, I ain't touching that. I've had the good side. I've been to the top of the mountain. It is good, and I'm not going back down.
I've had something better.
But and to be honest, it's probably a healthier. I mean, there's probably more nutrients and more vitamins and things inside that I just grew a tomato in my backyard tomato. It really and granted, you're like, I hate tomatoes. Fine, do it with corn, do it with squash, do it with watermelon, do it with pumpkins, whatever you float your boat. Do it with potatoes, onions. Do some roots vegetables. Try those. Pick the seasons. Obviously, don't stick them in the wrong time, or you're gonna find yourself not happy about it. But yeah, and if you need advice. I know, like Roswell Seed, if you go over there, those folks will help.
They're great.
Pretty much any place you buy seeds, they can give you at least a rudimentary information on how to get them planted and stuff, and then you can talk to the extension office.
Yes.
Don't talk to Tamara.
I know what you're saying.
And they can go and they can and they can help with because they help with commercial, but they also help with the backyard growers and stuff.
They do.
Too.
They help you know how to plant.
Drew over there will take care of you.
Yes, when's the best time to plant?
Yeah,
all of that.
Yeah.
And we put that stuff on our Facebook page as well. Different ways to plant things. If you just want a container, or if you just want one bed, or you want to use something that you already have.
Yes, like the baby swimming pool, the little above ground plastic
Yes.
pool. Somebody used that to plant their garden. So.
That's a great idea.
Sure.
Those pools are versatile.
Yeah, they are.
And I don't care what you say. It ain't wrong for an adult grown man to sit in one of those pools.
No, not when it's
100 degrees out.
Outside.
Yeah.
No kidding.
You make fun of me all you want. I'm comfortable. Of course, we got a garden in it. Don't do that to that pool. Get a new pool for that one.
Right.
But yeah, as long as it's not a deep-rooted plant, I don't see why I wouldn't. As long as it doesn't go past 6 inches or whatever how deep that pool is there. But yeah, that's great.
Right.
There's lots of ideas. So if you live like in a townhouse or something and you got a little patio, these are great ways to do. Now you can pay more and buy expensive planters and stuff. You don't really have to. Just get a pool. Go get a kiddie pool for $10 at Walmart and go put it out there. Or anything that holds. Anything that can hold something. You can really make it as long as you make it so the water drains properly and all that kind of stuff. You're good to go. So.
Exactly.
You ever have anybody? Yeah, we're running short on time. But I'm curious, since we're talking growing, those bulbs that you stick in that you fill with water and then stick into kind of self-water plants? Do you know anybody that's used those and know if they work?
I don't.
I always see those on commercials on TV and they look intriguing, but I'm like, do they work? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
it's like a glass.
Over at our office there in Dexter, and they use them all the time, and the plants are still living.
So I guess they work.
I guess they work pretty good.
As long as you remember to fill that glass tube up, then I think you're good to go. I always wonder about that. I never. I'm like, as seen on TV, everything works amazing on TV, but I'm like,
Right.
So,
right.
Again, if anybody has any questions about any of the resources we talked about for Dexter and Roswell and for really all of Travis County on summer food programs here for your kids, please, if you missed any information or want more information outside of what we talked about here, I highly recommend you encourage you to like and follow Healthy Kids Travis County on Facebook, Dexter Schools on Facebook, Roswell Independent School District.
Yes.
Stay like and follow those. You'll see the flyers. If they're not already up there, they will be up there announcing dates, times, locations for all the food summer food programs here. And then don't forget, July 1 is when the changeover happens that the child must be present to pick up the sack lunch or the food there.
And remember to check our Facebook page. We're posting all the camps.
Yeah.
All the activities. We've got kids triathlon coming up in July. There's a 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 soccer tournament. I think coming up that's unusual for our area. That's supposed to be a really big one. So,
cool.
I mean, there's some things coming up, but we post all those. There's camps from the high schools, from the college, from the zoo.
Yeah, college has got Scrubs Camp again this year.
Yeah, right. There's all sorts of neat things. So we try to post as many of those as we can so that you can kind of be informed. But you can always call the aquatic center or the zoo different places here in town so that you can keep your kids active. They
Absolutely.
need to be busy this summer.
And another place, Hope Morales, that's on the Roswell
School board, yeah.
She's very good to post anything that's going on with the school district, like Becky mentioned at the high schools if they're having a camp. And she posts the lunch where you can get pick up the lunches. So it's another place to look.
Good deal. Yeah, she's. I know she's pretty good about sharing
She's real
stuff.
good about it.
And so definitely a good resource there as well. And of course, if you want to learn more about any of the Roswell City Recreation Services, RoswellConnect.com is the website. If you go to the city's website, roswell-nm.gov, I'm sure there's a link to it and all that, but that deals with more like your water bill and city council and all that stuff. If you want to learn more about what's going on at the zoo or what's going on at the recreation center or at the museum and art center, RoswellConnect.com is that website. And you can get like your season passes or day passes, find out when the free Saturdays are for events, and the second Saturday of the month, usually free day out at the museum and art center and all that stuff. You can learn all about that there at Roswell Connect too.
Well, can I just say one more thing?
Absolutely.
I'm going to speak for Kim also, but we want to say thank you to you for allowing us to be on the radio.
Oh, anytime.
Yes.
Because putting these things out that we talk about are part of our regulations that we have to let the public know these things. So thank you for letting us.
Well, I'm glad I can be of service. That's kind of what we do here.
Yes,
but,
and we always appreciate your support of Healthy Kids Chavis
Thank
County.
you.
Thank you.
Of course, you didn't hear me. We were talking about chocolate chip pancakes like right before you came on. But
yeah, we won't listen to that.
We were trying to ignore that.
in moderation. It's
Everything
okay
in
once in a
moderation.
while, but if that's a staple for breakfast, you might want to change it up on that. Just or you're going to be seeing Tamara over at the extension office about diabetes awareness classes pretty sooner than you anticipated. Is there anything we missed? Anything we
I
didn't?
can't think of anything.
Awesome.
Just thank you for letting us be here.
Anytime, appreciate it. And folks, reach out. Don't if you got questions, if you have any issues or want to know more information, please don't hesitate to reach out. We want to make sure every student in our community has access to food this summer, and
absolutely.
And we want to make sure that's not an issue or anything else. But again, if you have any questions, reach out. Shoot messages on these Facebook pages too. If you've got any questions, that's probably the best way to get a hold of Healthy Kids Chavis County. I'm guessing during the summer months, reaching out directly through the Dexter Schools Facebook. It's probably the easiest way to do that too. So very good.
Yes.
Well, thank you, ladies.
You bet.
All right.
Have a great Memorial Day weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Enjoy your barbecue and vegetables.
Of course.
Grill some corn while you're grilling
some
your
corn.
burgers out there. Right?
That's my favorite.
Maybe grill some asparagus or
Yes.
a lot of the veggies you can grill.
Absolutely.
Or maybe shish kebab it and put some peppers and some pineapple or something. I got some beef in the fridge. I think I'm going to do that with this weekend. So
Sounds like a good idea.
yeah, not too bad. So, well, thank you guys. We'll see you next time. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, 8:57. Let's take a quick break before we get you in the news. Don't go away.
Jay Block for governor. Jay Block, conservative, veteran, leader. Jay Block is the only choice to stand up and defeat Michelle Lujan Grisham. Mr. Block is a veteran of combat, serving in Afghanistan, a nuclear commander, and winner of the New Mexico State Republican Convention. As an America First conservative, Mr. Block has turned blue seats red and has never lost a race. Mr. Block will end the madness in Santa Fe once and for all. He's not a weatherman. He's not a rhino. Jay Block is a conservative, veteran, and a leader. Vote June 7th in the Republican primary.
Paid for by Friends for Jay Block.
You know what happens in the spring. It's cleanup time. And AC&B, HF Sinclair, Navajo Refining, and the Boy Scouts are at it again to help clean up our community. The Scouts will come to your house and haul off items that you need to dispose of and have no way of hauling. The dates for pickup are May 28th, June 4, and June 11. Just call 575-513-0143 and let me know when, where, and what. Take advantage of this free service and let's make Artesia clean and beautiful.
The Wheels of Fortune savings event is on now at Roswell Nissan with prices slashed across the lot, like a 2016 Ford Escape priced under $17,000 or a 2012 Infiniti G37 under $15,000. Get a trip to Vegas and spin the wheel to win just for stopping by. A Home Depot gift card with a test drive and a toolkit or grilling kit with any purchase. And register to win a $400 Visa gift card to be given away May 28th at 1 p.m. Spin in and save. this month at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
This is Renee.
Happy to be here.
She's not some influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker, turning her 4-acre lot into a little slice of heaven behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. Renee runs with us because the most important job is the next one.
That's all I got.
Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear Renee's story at Deere.com.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:59, closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up here in just a few seconds. Stay tuned next hour. About 9:15 or so, we'll have Chaves County Manager Bill Williams join us, give us an update what's going on in and around Chaves County, update last commissioners meeting, all that good stuff. So we'll talk Chaves County business next hour. Don't go away. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. And, I'll tell you next hour. There was something else I was going to mention, but I'll wait till next hour. So we'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
Talk radio has landed on the all-new 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Well, it's still bad, but maybe starting to ease just a bit. That's the takeaway from the Commerce Department's just released inflation report. Inflation up 6.3% in April from 1 year earlier.
The figure is just below a 4-decade high set in March, and the first slowdown since November 2020. The report added to another recent sign showing that while inflation continues to cause hardships for millions of households, it may finally be moderating, at least for now. The report also showed that consumer spending rose by 0.9% from March to April.
And that's correspondent Jeremy House. The National Rifle Association opening its 150th annual convention today. The Houston gathering taking place in the aftermath of the massacre in Uvalde, Texas. Protesters are expected to show up. The Houston police chief says that while people do have a right to protest, violence will not be tolerated. And investigators say they are trying to determine a motive for the massacre.
Following a horrific school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre says President Biden and the First Lady will travel there on Sunday and meet with community leaders, religious leaders, and victims' families.
To show their support for the community during this devastating time and to be there for the families of the victims.
The visit comes on the day the National Rifle Association wraps up a 3-day annual meeting in Houston.
80% of NRA members support background checks.
In remarks on Wednesday, the president called on lawmakers to come together to address gun violence and tighten gun laws in response to the shooting. Jennifer King, Washington.
The investigation focusing on a natural gas leak as a possibility following a deadly explosion that destroyed 2 homes, damaged others in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. At least 4 people were killed. The Dow up 218 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Are you unhappy with your Medicare supplement plan? Are you paying too much for doctors or drugs? Did you know that you don't need to wait for the annual enrollment period to switch plans? You heard me right. With Chapter, you can apply to switch your Medicare supplement plan whenever you want. Chapter is a free service that helps you make sure you are on the right Medicare plan for your needs. Chapter searches thousands of options to find a plan that best suits your specific healthcare needs and could save you thousands of dollars each year. Because healthcare should be your choice, not a bureaucrat's decision. Whether you're already enrolled in a Medicare supplement plan or you're new to Medicare, call Chapter and make sure your choice is the right choice. It could be the last call you ever need to maximize your Medicare benefits. The service is free, so call today. Call 800-611-9422. 800-611-9422. 800-611-9422.
As Russia presses its war in Ukraine, Moscow pushing back on sanctions while seeking to shift blame to the West for a growing international food crisis.
With its war on Ukraine nearing a 4th month, Russia pressed for a lifting of sanctions imposed by the West Thursday and also said a growing international food crisis has been exacerbated by Ukraine's inability to ship millions of tons of grain and other agricultural products. The Russian statement ignored its own blockade of Ukraine's ports, many of which are also now heavily mined. British Foreign Secretary Liz Truss accused Russia of trying to hold the world to ransom. At the Pentagon, spokesman John Kirby agreed.
They're weaponizing food. They're weaponizing economic assistance.
The Director General of the World Trade Organization said about 25 million tons of Ukrainian grain is in storage, and another 25 million tons could be harvested next month. I'm Mike Gracia.
Townhall.com. Several Republicans are behind a lawsuit in Illinois. It argues that late-arriving mail-in ballots should be discarded.
The suit was filed in federal court in Chicago on behalf of Representative Michael Bose from Carbondale, a state GOP committee person Laura Polistrini, and Susan Sweeney, who was one of the state's Republican presidential electors in 2020. A spokesman for the Illinois State Board of Elections says that it does not comment on pending litigation. The suit asks a judge to prevent election authorities from counting mail-in ballots that arrive in the days following in-person voting, arguing that a ballot is, quote, not a legal vote unless it's received by Election Day. Bernie Bennett reporting.
A week filled with goodbyes continues for family and friends of victims of the attack on a Buffalo supermarket. Funeral service is set for today for 3 of the victims. They are among the 10 people killed, 3 wounded in the May 14th massacre in the western New York City. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Chris and Garnos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday. Happy Memorial Day weekend.
The best Friday.
Yeah. Oh, I was just like, I never look up, and I looked up. And he's got split screen, and since you're in the other spot, it's got the white behind you.
Oh, God.
It's just a different look.
I don't have to be on the screen.
Yes, you do.
No, I really do. And it's like super zoomed in, too.
It is.
But I like that, at least the part is appreciated. When I sit over there, I look at my bald spot. Just hear you.
Oh, so now he's moving it to the brown. Where's he going? Let's follow.
Where are you going? America.
Here's Sean Smalls. America.
McDonald's point count 52. That's cruel.
Not all of us can be ballers like me.
That's right. Nick Ballers, please.
Not to impress you, but just to give you the official number. Yeah, because I'm kind of a big deal. 14,264 points. And I cashed in like 4,000 of them Wednesday.
Yeah? So you were up to like 18 or 19?
28,000.
28?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yep. You too could be a point.
You don't have to be a point miser. You don't have to just sit there and hoard points.
But now I wouldn't have nothing to talk about right now.
You should like stand at the kiosk and be like, "Hey, you want a McMuffin? I got you."
Point scalper.
That's right.
He's a points guy.
See, if you were single, you could use your points to pick up chicks.
I could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really creepy guy hanging out at the McDonald's kiosk offering to buy people breakfast at 6:30 on a Tuesday.
Why do I got a feeling my wife right now is going, yeah, you go ahead and try that. I don't care.
Give it a shot.
Go ahead. I don't care you're married. Go ahead, give that a try. See what kind of luck you get.
Daddy, how did you meet Mommy? Well, son, I was posted up in front of a McDonald's on a Tuesday morning. She came in hungry, and I made sure she walked away full.
Got her 10-piece with my points. Right. And the rest was love from there. But yeah, download the app so you can get the points game. You can sign up for the rewards, and every time you purchase, you earn rewards towards free food. You can hoard them like myself or use them on a regular basis like Sean does.
I have kids, all right?
I know.
I have kids, and they got needs.
I've used my points like twice. I've bought like those fries, and I think I bought a Big Mac or a quarter pounder or something, one time with it too. I just forget I remember after the fact, or I'm like, no, I don't want that, but I want this, but I can't get it through the reward, so I got to go. And so,
what was cool was
it's a whole thing.
Like 2 weeks ago, it was like 3 weeks ago, I ordered a filet of fish through the app with my points. Didn't redeem it. Wasn't able to redeem it. Went back, forgot about it. Went back 2 weeks later. Didn't really, was just kind of thinking I'll have like a hamburger for lunch, something cheap. I had a filet of fish waiting for me, free of charge, just sitting there. They saved it for me. Yeah, I don't know if it was the same filet, but it seemed fresh.
Well, awesome. But you too could experience this. Download it today. You can use that app to order food, make delivery, pick up through the drive-thru, or pick up to dine in. Whatever it is that works for you, they can do it. And like I said, every time, if you sign up for the rewards program, every time you order food through the app, it gives you some points. And after 1 or 2 trips, you're starting earning free food right away.
I believe it's still 2 times points for breakfast hours when you order breakfast through the app.
Nice. So
double them up.
Get you a OG Egg McMuffin right now and get not double points. And then you can be baller like me, point baller.
That's right. Rolling in them. He tosses his points on the bed at the end of the day and he just rolls in them.
I think I have a gold necklace made up talking about 14,000 points.
Big medallion?
Yeah, big medallion.
How much was that? $15,000. Ironically, I couldn't pay with points.
Telling you, I'm saving up for a franchise. That's going to cash it in and be like, I want a McDonald's.
Thinking,
you know what? I would cash out at if I could get like a shake machine.
Yeah.
Like I could take home. Like if I could save it up and get like the McDonald's ice cream shake machine and just put that at the house. Yeah, I'm sure that'd be my demise.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, that would, if I could save up points for that, I'd like that.
There's things that I want to say, but it's a McDonald's Friday, so I won't say them.
And I don't know how they're all made and everything, but I don't even need the vanilla machine. Just the one that makes chocolate shakes. That's the only one I need. You can keep the rest of it. So, because I don't have guests, and I'm the only one that's going to eat the shake.
Well, as a former McDonald's employee myself, I can tell you it's just one mix, and
I kind of figured they add chocolate
flavorings.
or whatever. Yeah, I kind of figured, but
Yeah. You think? Yeah.
In my head, I always think of like the soft serve ice cream where there's like the mix, the vanilla and the chocolate, and you just hit the one. Yeah.
Right.
Or if you get like Disney Cruise and they got like banana, mango, or something purple,
some kind of purple fruit.
Yeah. So anyway, point of this: go to McDonald's, download the app, start getting points, and don't listen to Sean earlier. Double fillet of fish greater than single fillet of fish.
Fine. Maybe I just didn't.
I think you're having a bad day.
Yesterday was not a good day.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
I think get in a better mood, have another one. I think you change your tune. Because
I'll
2 weeks ago, you were on my team. 2 weeks ago, you're like, the double fillet of fish is better. You said it right there.
I said it's better in concept.
You ate one and said it was better.
Yeah, it might have just been a row. I did get it with extra tartar sauce. Maybe that was my downfall.
You OT'd? You can't OT on a fish.
Yeah, you gotta over tartar.
You can't OT. There's got to be a perfect amount of T. If you OT, then it starts flapping on the sides and get on your shirt.
It just wasn't structurally sound, but that's what the box is for. You catch the falling T and use it as dipping later.
You don't want low T.
You definitely
don't want
low
over T either.
You go see my doctor about all this tea I'm dealing with. But maybe that was the problem. I went over.
Yeah, if you over tartared, then that's on you.
It was almost retartared.
You asked for more tartar. See, that's your own. Because I think they put an adequate amount of tartar to get go. They tartared up pretty good.
Here's what I should have done, because I took it home and ate it. What I should have done, I have tartar sauce at home. Of course, I've got my own sauce. I should have just added my own sauce later after the fact. I don't know if there's a proprietary tartar sauce blend that McDonald's uses, but
I'm sure there is. Everything's proprietary, even their ice. So yeah, probably is.
Mm-hmm.
But go back, get you another one. You'll be back on
I'm gonna
Team
figure
Double.
out. I'm gonna figure out how to do this the right way. Yet, I still think that the move is to get 2 filet-o fish and then construct your own.
Okay, why would you do that though? Because now you're just stuck with 2 steamed buns that you have nothing to do with.
That's never been a problem for me. I will find a use for my steamed buns.
And you put something in your buns?
You know I can put something in those buns.
Okay. All right. Well,
I
whatever.
got bologna mayo. I can put all kinds of stuff in those buns.
Well, however your proclivities are, if you're like, I don't even like fish, I'll go eat Big Macs. Whatever. And most people are like, why do they care about fish? I like the double fillet of fish. It's my go-to. My favorites. Sorry.
It's the most authentic fish in the game.
There you go.
In my opinion.
And the song's catchy, too. Remember back...
Bring me back my filet of fish.
No,
Bring me that fish.
Fish. It was annoying but catchy at the same time. Because I'd hear it in the background, and I'm like, what?
But hey, stands out.
It does. I remember it.
That's right.
All right. Bill's been waiting patiently through all this to talk to us, so we should probably let him do that.
I always love that side of things, too. It's like when the guest comes in, they sit quietly. It's like, waiting for him to say something. They're just taking it in. Bill's just taking it in at this point.
It's like, is this actual human beings asking these questions? I don't know.
It's like when you walk into the monkey cages at the zoo, you just want to sit there and observe. You're waiting for one of us to throw poop, aren't you? It's going to be him.
It's going to be him.
Oh, and by the way, I need to clarify something.
Oh, we need clarification.
Yes, and I feel like a McDonald's Friday is a perfect day to do that.
Okay.
The fry in question that was stuck, the underpants fry that was brought up yesterday.
Yes.
You were very detailed with parts of that story and not detailed with other parts.
Okay, what did I miss?
It was on my thigh, upper thigh.
Oh, I seem to remember you doing behind the back.
Yeah, no,
move.
it wasn't attached to a cheek. It was upper thigh.
I seem to remember
it was
you
right
going.
here. Well, your angle was bad.
Maybe your angle is bad. My angles were supposed to be.
If you remember correctly, in that studio, you were set up here. I was set almost behind you.
You were back into the right.
So I was I was in your peripheral already. So
we're gonna Zapruder film this.
That's right. So if you look at frame 134, you'll see that his hand went down and to the right.
Well, I will take your word since it was your hand, but
and 20 years ago,
in my memory from back in '04, I seem to remember it was in the posterior region, but that's just me. Either way,
we'll just have to let history decide, won't we?
The facts do not change. He pulled a McDonald's French fry out of his pants he slept on the night before and ate it in front of me.
It was basically its own warming tray.
Whether it was on the thigh or the cheek is not relevant.
I feel it is. I feel that leg to cheek real estate is the most important aspect of the story. Not the fact that I was eating.
To be honest, one could argue that the thigh's grosser.
Could one?
Because they're generally hairier, and whereas the talk is as smooth as a baby's bottom.
Now you're projecting what you feel my thighs look like, and cheeks.
All right, I got to end this conversation.
We really should. The whole point is, go to McDonald's.
I want French fries later, and it's starting to ruin that for me. So
get it fresh.
All right, it is 9:17. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got a hot, sunny, and windy holiday weekend coming up. Just over the 100-degree mark today with sunshine, a little bit gusty. Clear for the overnight hours. We're in the mid-60s, and then about 105 for tomorrow afternoon. Sunshine and wind kicking up to 35 miles per hour. Windy with our highs near 100 on Sunday and Memorial Day. That's your latest forecast. This is staff meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, I didn't refresh my weather after all that. Currently 72 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 29%. Southeast winds at 8 miles per hour. Sunny, hot, 101 today with south winds 10 to 20. Tonight, clear skies with an overnight low of 64. We do have a red flag warning tomorrow from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. because it's going to be sunny, hot, a high of 104 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 early. Later in the day, increasing 15 to 20, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Clear tomorrow night, breezy with an overnight low of 64. Southwest winds 20 to 25. They'll drop down 10 to 15 after midnight. Sunday, another hot one. We do have a fire weather watch. I'm sure that'll get upgraded as we get closer. But sunny Sunday, highs once again around 100. Windier, actually. Southwest winds 10 to 20 early, 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 later in the day. And then for your Memorial Day on Monday, sunny, hot, highs right around 100. Another windy day as well. And then it looks like we're going to be dealing with the heat through Tuesday. And then they're saying there's a chance. Wednesday and Thursday, we're looking at like a 40% chance of rain with highs only in the upper 80s. So knock on some wood, and hopefully that sticks around. All right, it is 8:19. We're going to take a 3.5-minute commercial break, and then Bill Williams, county manager, patiently waiting after talking about Thai French fries. We got to move on. Thai fries. We'll be back with Bill Williams after this.
It's Big O Tire's Memorial Day sale. Get up to $140 in rebate savings when you buy 4 select in-stock Michelin tires with paid installation May 23rd through June 19th. We'll also give you a free conventional oil change when you buy 4 select tires this week only. Trust Big O Tires to always offer you quality service and great prices. Our expert technicians will help get your vehicle ready for the road, so you can focus more on where you want to go and less on how you'll get there. Hurry in and get up to $140 in rebate savings when you buy 4 select Michelin tires, plus a free conventional oil change. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Most vehicles, free oil change valid through August 31st, 22. Non-transferable, non-refundable, not valid with other offers. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price. Not to exceed $35 where permitted. Void where prohibited. Retailer offer is independent from manufacturer's offer.
J Block for governor. J Block, conservative, veteran, leader. J Block is the only choice to stand up and defeat Michelle Lujan Grisham. Mr. Block is a veteran of combat, serving in Afghanistan, a nuclear commander, and winner of the New Mexico State Republican Convention. As an America First conservative, Mr. Block has turned blue seats red and has never lost a race. Mr. Block will end the madness in Santa Fe once and for all. He's not a weatherman. He's not a rhino. J Block is a conservative, veteran, and a leader. Vote June 7th in the Republican primary.
Paid for by Friends for J Block.
Summertime means blowout time. The National Used Car Blowout is on this month at Roswell Honda with deeper discounts on a selection of amazing vehicles than Roswell Honda has seen all year. Like a 2017 Ford Escape for only $329 a month, a 2015 Honda CR-V for just $309 a month, or a 2013 Nissan Sentra for only $199 a month. Zero down, no payments for 90 days, and top dollar for your trade. The blowout is on all month long at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd. Join Hot New Country 92.9 The Brand and Fiero 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast this Wednesday from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Carlsbad Public Library for Música Buena, featuring performances by Flamenco de Nuevo Mexico, Así Se Baila Ballet. Enjoy food trucks, vendors, and more. And we'll be on hand with hot dogs, ice-cold Pepsis, and lots of great surprises. So join us this Wednesday from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Carlsbad Public Library for Música Buena, 101 South Halagueno in Carlsbad. See you there with The Brand.
KSVPTV.com is where you can watch the area graduation ceremonies this week. Wednesday, it's Artesia High School Baccalaureate at 7:30 p.m. Thursday, Roswell University High graduation at 6, Artesia High School graduation at 7:30. Friday, Goddard High School graduation at 7 o'clock. Saturday, it's the RISD Early College graduation at 11 a.m. and the Roswell High graduation at 7 p.m. If you can't attend or have friends and family members around the country or around the world, make sure they log on to ksvptv.com to watch the Class of 2022 graduation exercises. The broadcast of area graduations is presented by Pecos Valley Equipment, Trans Aero, Double D Animal Nutrition and Supply, Amigo Machinery, Sun Country Garden Center, J&J Home Care, Forest Tire, Carlsbad Medical, Carlsbad National Bank, the Eddy County DWI Task Force, and HF Sinclair.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
but you can't hunt them. Good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, we have, of course, Travis County Manager Bill Williams back with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm learning a lot here. That's all I can
Probably
say.
not the kinds of things you want to learn, but
yeah, I'm kind of having to poke out my mind's eye in a few cases.
A lot of TMI there.
Yeah,
but,
some of Sean's stories are out there.
Well, I'm sorry you had to endure that, but we do appreciate you visiting here. I know schedule's been a little off kilter here last couple months with commission meetings getting pushed up or back here a little bit because of various events and things.
Right.
But so Bill's here to just kind of recap for us.
Yeah, we're a little late. We'll be late again next month.
Yeah.
I think that we're back on target in July, but I'll have to double check that.
Okay.
But there have been 4, I think, that have been rescheduled. So.
Okay. Perfect. So, but good news is county's been going busy and lots happening. So,
regardless of when we schedule the county commission meeting, things still do.
There's still
happen.
plenty on the agenda to get done and take care of.
It's just that public meeting hits a little different time, but all the stuff going on behind the scenes is still going on.
Absolutely. It's just when they officially can get together and make pass decisions on some of these different issues and things here. So, what's kind of been the focus here for this month?
Well, as everyone knows, the last 2 or 3 months, we've all been focused on budget.
Yes.
And yesterday, the interim budget was approved. There's a lot of back and forth with that. Each department brings forth everything. It goes to the Finance Committee. Finance Committee makes recommendations and, back and forth.
Right.
Have a public hearing. We had a public hearing on the 13th, I believe it was, of this month, and discussed everything openly in the public and went back, made a couple of very minor changes. It was essentially unchanged from that meeting to this meeting. And then yesterday went ahead and approved it.
Awesome. Good deal. So is that pretty much mean it goes to Santa Fe here? Is there one more phase?
It goes to Santa Fe.
Okay.
Once DFA, what is that, Department of Finance Authority?
Okay.
Or something similar to that. Once they look at it and say, yes, this meets all the requirements of a budget for a public entity, then they send it back, and then we officially approve the budget.
Gotcha. Okay.
We've officially approved the interim budget, but they could come back and say, no, we think this needs to change. We've never had that problem.
I was about to say that doesn't happen with us. I mean, I'm sure it happens at other counties and municipalities, but Travis County, it's not a problem.
You have to have a balanced budget, which they do give you a little bit of leeway. I think that Annabelle told me you have to be within 1.5% of your revenues versus your expenses going out. And of course, first thing we do is discuss the revenues, and we say, okay, last year we got this much in gross receipts, we got this much in property tax, we got this much from X, Y, or Z. And then they adjust those numbers. They say, well, is this year going to be as good as last year was? And we're cautious.
Gotcha.
And so usually if we think we're going to get $1 million, we might say, well, why don't we talk more like 900,000?
You think it's a real number, and you always back it off a little bit
just to make sure you've got plenty. You'd rather have too much money than not enough,
Absolutely.
obviously, just like you do at your home. You
Sure.
know? So, and the last couple of years with COVID and so much uncertainty, and of course we're encountering a lot of that again this year for different reasons. But rather than backing off that $1 million to 900,000, they might say, the finance committee's, I'm still not real comfortable. Let's back that off to 800 or 850 or, so we reduce the revenues from what we think they're actually going to be to a reasonable number. We don't cut them in half by any means, because we need to be able to fully fund programs.
You still got to have a budget to operate with, but at the same time, you want to budget conservatively and then be pleasantly surprised when the actual numbers come out.
It is a
later
difficult
on.
job for all the commissioners, but especially for our finance committee, which is Chairman Cavan and Commissioner Ezell are our finance committee this year. And they had to make a lot of really tough decisions. Told people, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait for that. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to restrain yourself a little bit.
So let me ask a question. So say, down the road here, when it all said and done, you've forecasted this budget, planned accordingly, and then afterwards you find out, we're a couple million under that. What happens to that X? Does it go to the general fund, or do you go back and say, let's reassess a couple of things we didn't approve. Let's see if we can squeeze them in now. What happens after that?
Well, that's a really good question, because every year we start out with our carryover. So we have to estimate how much we think is going to come back into the coffers at the beginning. So if we underestimated our revenues by $2 million, so we have to calculate, well, by the time everything's paid, I think we're going to have $2 million. That's one of the very first things that Annabelle, our CFO, puts into the budget. She says, I'm going to have this much coming back.
Okay.
And
what do we want to do with it?
Well, and then it rolls into next year's budget and just becomes a part of the revenues for next year's budget.
Gotcha.
However, when we're doing our budget presentations in each department, especially the big three, which are the road department, the detention center, and the sheriff's department are our big three, and then facility maintenance is quite a ways behind, but they're also
on the list,
a pretty large budget. So they come forward and they say, this is what I'm going to need for next year, and then here's my capital outlay. For instance, the road department would like to get a new distributor truck. Unfortunately, the problem with distributor trucks is you can't get trucks these days.
Yeah.
We're looking at probably a year out.
You can order one, but you ain't going to see it.
But our current distributor truck, which is the heart of our paving operation, it's what sprays the asphalt emulsion on the road, and then they put the chips down and roll them in, and that's how we do our chip seal roads, essentially. Our truck is 18 years old. And, they maintain it very well. We have a great shop. Jay and his crew out at the road department shop, they really take good care of our stuff. And that's why we have a truck that's 18 years old. It's heavily used.
Well-maintained and well-documented maintenance records and all that, yeah.
So we need a new truck. So Joe puts that on his capital outlay, and I believe the truck was somewhere near, and I'll probably get this wrong, but I'm thinking by the time it's completely set up with the tank and the spray bars and everything, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000.
Okay. That doesn't surprise me because, 18-wheel, all those trucks are
yeah.
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And stuff, retail price on a road grader is about $500,000.
Yeah,
we do get a little better deal than that, but not a whole lot better deal than that. So, they have a list of things that they would like to get. And that's when the finance committee says, well, rather than budget for that next year and inflate next year's budget, is it possible to buy that this year? And so that money that's going back into the budget, our carryover from excess, if you want to call it that, revenues that we didn't budget for using because we were cautious. A lot of times they'll take that and say, can we get that truck before the beginning of the new fiscal year? And then we go ahead and try to purchase some of those.
Some of those ones that are, asks or needs that are important, but they weren't like dire, but now it's like, we got the money. Let's address some of these important issues before they become dire.
Well, I think it's been 3 years ago now. We've been trying hard to bring our road department into the 21st century. Things have changed over the last years. Nowadays, they have milling machines. They go out. You've seen them on the highways. It's like a giant rotor tiller on steroids. Eats up all the asphalt, chews it up. Grinds it back to the size they can use, puts it back down, or they haul it off depending on what the situation is.
Recycling the asphalt, basically.
So some of our worst roads, in the winter, well, let me put it this way, the gravel roads, dirt roads out in the county, a lot of those literally were wagon trails 100 years ago. And eventually, people continued to use them. We started blading them, put some gravel on them, and it was originally a wagon trail, but a road was never really built there. They just kind of crossed the
just
terrain.
the path people took.
So some of those roads are pretty rough out in the county and get a lot of use. And so our goal with buying a new machine a few years ago, I'll get back to that, was to have a machine where we could rebuild the roads in the wintertime that are out in the county, and then in the springtime, just before we start chip sealing, they'll bring this big milling machine in and mill the worst roads in town, and then go back and repave those. But we have to do that in the spring because it has to be warm. So
gotcha.
But we decided we needed this machine to help us to accomplish this task because it goes in, it will actually grind up soil 20 inches deep. The engine doesn't even, falter at all.
It laughs
just
at that.
Goes right along,
Doesn't struggle whatsoever.
But it will take a 20-inch deep swath, take that out, mix it all up, and lay it right back down in the spot. You hook a water truck directly on it so you get moisture in the soil. The blades come along behind it. So instead of hauling in truckload after truckload after truckload of material and getting the moisture right and building it up in lifts, it does that for you all in one pass.
Oh, okay.
And so several years ago, 3 years ago, I believe it was, we went to the commission and said, we'd really like to do this. It will really improve our ability to do our jobs on the county roads.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, what's one of those cost? Well, one of those cost about $800,000. I believe it might have been a little higher than that, but I think that they had a price for about $800,000. They said, well, we understand you really need that. Is there any other way we can do it?
Yeah.
Well, we had looked into it. Said, well, we could buy a used machine. Those machines are so expensive that most construction companies don't purchase them. They just lease them.
Okay.
And so I was able to find several leased units, Amarillo, Lubbock, Dallas, within driving distance, that had less than 2,000 hours. I think the one we ended up buying had 1,200 hours on it. So it's essentially a brand new machine.
Yeah.
But the price was $400,000.
So you paid half the sticker shock off that.
Surely half. And so the commissioners told us at that time, they said, well, we think that we would have money to budget for that at that price. You guys go ahead and see if you can get one done before July 1st. And we scrambled and we found one in Amarillo, and we had to go through a lot of hoops because it was a used piece of machinery. A lot of other certifications had to come into place to make sure that you're
not buying a lemon here.
Right.
Yeah.
So we did that, but we were able to use some of that end of year revenue rather than carry it over to the next year. We were able to utilize those funds to purchase this machine, which has done great things for us.
Gotcha.
We only have one of those machines, and every winter we start trying to work on the roads out in the county, the dirt roads that have literally never had anything done to them, and trying to rebuild miles and miles of road to modern day standards. And then in the spring we come in and we do the worst of the worst roads that are paved and try to get a few. So it's going to take us several years to get all that rebuilt.
Get into a routine.
But because the commissioners had that money and were willing to spend it on capital outlay like that, it was very beneficial to the county and to the residents.
Absolutely. And hopefully,
I'm really excited about that machine. It's awesome to watch.
Yeah, and it sounds like, because they'll maintain it and things. Who knows? It could be for the next 18, 20 years, be taking care of that for Travis
I believe
County,
they did East Country Club last year. I'm not sure. They did several miles out there.
Okay.
Or a few miles out there on the west side of town.
But be looking for more of this, here in the coming years as they go and start getting these roads and doing that. And once they get into the routine, then it's, I think, at least I know Eddy County does this, and I think that's kind of standard they kind of have like a schedule where they kind of start at one spot and they work around the county doing the roads. And then by the time they do full circles, back to start over maintaining those. So it's kind of like just an ongoing clock. It's all right, we're here, we did here, now we're going to go over here and look, and over here and look. And that's kind of, I think, how they work it a little bit.
We use a lot of what we call LGRF, Local Government Road Fund monies that come from the state of New Mexico. And every year we turn in roads that have not been taken care of or have not been resurfaced in 6 to 8 years.
Okay.
And we turn in a list of those, and they fund a portion of it. We have to pay a portion of it, and they slice and dice. They do a lot of things. But that's how we fund a lot of our road projects. And they're based on, like, say, a time frame. But we also have an index where we go out and we assess roads quality.
Sure.
And we look at those items too, and sometimes we'll move a road up in the rotation. But generally every 6th, 7th year you'll see them come back and do the same road.
And I imagine two constituents come and talk to their commissioners and say, why can't you fix my road here? And after our commission's going, hey, we need to put this on the list here. I've got complaints.
Roads change priority. But generally there's a list of all the roads in the county, and they rotate through. But some roads will last 2 years with all the dairy trucks or farm trucks or whatever on them, and other roads might last 10. So we have to find that sweet spot, and some of them get pushed back and some of them get moved up. But we really rely on the public telling us, hey, my road's getting pretty bad, because we don't drive every road every day.
Absolutely, yeah.
When we find out, oftentimes I'll get a call and I'll go out to a road and I'll say, oh man, I see what they're talking about. This is horrible. So we get those moved up and get them pushed through.
Sure. So lesson for the public here, if you do have roads in your county, you're in the county here and you have roads that are county roads,
call it road department.
If you're in the city, then you need to go to the city, fix it for them. But if it's a county road, reach out to your county commissioner. They'll take care of it.
Call the road department. Same thing if you see garbage in the bar ditch. People throw out their sofas, old tires, all kinds of stuff. And when we find those, we go and pick them up and haul them off immediately. We don't go onto private property, but we do get things that are adjacent to the county roads. So any of that kind of stuff, any issues that you have with the county, feel free to call anytime.
Absolutely.
And we'll do our very best to answer the questions, and hopefully, what is interesting is sometimes I can talk to someone and I can give them good news and make them really happy, and sometimes I have to give them bad news. But I do call people back, and Mac will do the same. And people do respect just getting the straight truth.
Yeah, be honest with people, and they'll respect that.
Well, we can't do that. It's not ours. It's out of our, or we're going to get that next year, or I'm glad you told me because we're going to get somebody over there this afternoon. It just depends on the situation. We will address everything that someone.
And I think that's what most people want. They, okay, even if it's not the answer you want, at least look, someone is aware of it. There's trying to be something done about it. Ideally, that wasn't the outcome I wanted, but at least I know that there's something going on, and who knows, maybe it's an alternative we can fix later, but it's on the radar now.
Well, and one of the stories I like to tell, and I've told it here before, is we didn't know about a bridge. We had a planning and zoning case where they wanted a special use project. The neighbors came out and forced it. One of the problems we have is that bridge is unsafe and narrow, and now you're going to add more trucks to it. And we said, oh, really? And so we looked into it, found out the bridge was bad. We immediately put it on our ICIP, our capital infrastructure plan, which everything has to be on there.
Sure.
And we're starting on that. That'll be one of the things we'll talk about in the upcoming couple of months. But we put it in our plan saying we need to replace this bridge because the conditions on this road have changed, and it is an unsafe condition.
Yeah, it's an accident waiting to happen.
So we went to the legislators. The legislators understood our issue. They funded the project fully. And like I say, this is how government is supposed to work. People come to you, you do your job, and you let somebody else know, you find the funding somehow. It was perfect up to that point, and then the governor vetoed it, the previous governor, not the current governor. But anyway, it was vetoed. So now we're back at square one. But the people brought it to our attention, made us aware of it, and we have not stopped asking for money for that. Even though we didn't actually get all the money for that, we continue to keep it on our ICIP, ask for funding. We did get funding this year that was approved, or last year, I guess, that was approved by the governor, not enough to do the thing, but there are also other programs, and we are well on our way, we believe, to getting the funding to take care of that bridge.
Sure.
And had the people not come and told us that there was a bad bridge there, the people that drive over it every day explaining to us that it's dangerous because you can't see the trucks coming, we wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
And thankfully, people tell us, and we do our best to try to resolve issues.
Well, hopefully they'll able to. Is the goal to replace the bridge or repair it?
No, to replace it.
Replace.
It needs a wider bridge there.
Okay. So it just needs to be able to handle more wider, bigger vehicles.
Yeah.
It's not big enough.
Well, there's a lot of truck traffic. It's on the way to the landfill on Brasher Road.
Okay.
So the road narrows, actually, as it goes over the bridge. You've got a wider road bed, and the road tends to narrow because there's no shoulders on that bridge. So everyone kind of moves over to the middle. The bridge is raised up, so as you climb the hill, you see a semi coming the other way who has also moved to the middle of the road.
Yeah.
So it's a serious issue. And
then you need a diaper.
Yeah. And of course, now there's concrete trucks and trash trucks and the regular traffic out there. And we've not forgotten. We're going to find a way to fund the bridge there. Same as the elevator at the courthouse. People said we needed an elevator for handicap access to the courthouse. And we worked really hard on it. It took several years, but we did get funded, and we actually have that problem resolved now.
Yeah.
It wasn't that requests for falling on deaf ears. It was just elevators are expensive. We had to figure out how to do it. So we did.
There's a lot of logistics there. So, well, good. It's funny. Real quick. My brother lives in Northern Virginia there. And, of course, we look out here and we live, but a lot of the areas, same there. Roads and things were before cars and all that kind of stuff.
Definitely.
And so there is a bridge. And actually for him, it's more of a tunnel bridge. It's really small, but anyway, it's a railroad track that goes over the road there. So they built this big, beautiful stone bridge that goes over it, but it's just got a little tunnel underneath, and it's really only wide enough for one lane of traffic, but it's a 2-lane highway. So in essence, people have to go through, and there's a corner there. So the bridge was built back in the 1700s. So it's not going anywhere. So now what people do is they honk. That's the move. And so when you go to the bridge, you have to honk before you go through, and it scares the daylights out of me because you really don't know who's on the other side. It's a gamble every time you go through there. But yeah, they've been doing that for hundreds of years now.
Hopefully the guy on the other side understands that when you honk, you wait till it's your turn.
Yeah, but that's just it. Most of them, they don't even slow down. And it's like, well, that did nothing. but yeah, it's one of those things. So when you talk about that, I was like, yeah, sometimes these things were built and designed way before, it outgrew the needs of today and things like that. So, but
well, the Hegerman Bridge going over the Rio Feliz as you take the old highway into Hegerman. When I was a kid, that was the road that there was no bridge beside it. You went through the covered bridge there. And I'll never forget, my mom met a truck. She would wait until there was no one coming, then she would rush through the bridge. One day, for whatever reason, she started through and she met a semi coming the other way, and she kept veering over and veering over and veering over. And I opened my mouth to say, "Mom," and she smacked the mirror on the side of the bridge, and it came in through the window. Oh, wow. So, the bridge is plenty wide, but still, I'll never forget my mom just was scared to death. She kept moving over. And that's what happens.
It does.
So, fortunately, we can rebuild infrastructure and do things, and like I say, come into at least the 20th century, if not the 21st. Cars are getting smaller, though, so maybe maybe the
by the
bridges
time it'll be back relevant again.
Yeah. One of the big things that we did on our budget that we're real proud of this year is it's been several years since our staff at the county got a cost of living increase. And so we ask everyone prior to budget time to really keep the belt tight and try only to ask for things they really needed so that we could come up with money to give a cost of living increase to all of our employees. And we were able to get that done, a 5% increase. And
And the way inflation...
Make us a little more competitive.
Well,
inflation's been about 8%, and we gave a 5%.
But I mean, that's the world we live in now. It's almost a necessity right now. It's not a luxury. We got to get, if it afford it, you got to give these cost of living because families got to compete with the, $6 gas and $10 gallon of milk or whatever.
And one of the things that I can't say a whole lot about because it's not completed yet, but the commissioners last year set aside some money to give the sheriffs a raise. Unfortunately, the sheriffs have a union that was unable to come to come up with a contract.
Collective bargaining or whatever.
Collective bargaining, yeah. And so we couldn't give them. You can't help them. If it's not
until that collective bargaining and the agreements
until the agreement's done. But they set aside money last year to do it. Well, they carried that forward, and then they set aside another factor this year, and it looks like we're going to have an agreement. So we will be able to. But thankfully, the commissioner said we want to take care of our law enforcement, and we set money aside so it would be there when the time came.
When the labor
because
union
even with
and all
collective bargaining agreement comes through. If you didn't budget for it, they cannot force you to go back and provide money for it. So they were looking ahead and said, we want to take care of these guys. It's very important to us. Our hands have been tied. We can't give them anything, but they set money aside. And now that it appears that we're going to have an agreement, they'll be able to.
And I imagine it's got to make things a little smoother at the negotiating table too. You know what I mean?
Well,
you would think.
I would hope, and we have been looking out for them, even though we couldn't do anything about it.
Sure.
And that's totally out of our hands or their hands.
Right. Yeah. This is other people in other rooms that are dealing with this.
But anyway, we got that pay raise for all of our employees set aside, and awesome. We also addressed the $15 an hour minimum wage. It's not 15 yet, but it's going to be. It's supposed to be, and so we only had a couple of charts that affected, and so we went ahead and made that entry level at 15 and kind of compress those charts. Doesn't affect them on the years out, but at least coming in, we can get to that 15. And rather than do 14 this year and then work on 15 next year, we just did it all in one fell swoop. It's really not a big effect on the budget because we have most of our jobs pay more than minimum wage, but there were 2 or 3 that were affected.
And it makes sense as long as it doesn't make a big impact like that, let's go ahead and get it done now. That way we're in place when it officially needs to be and we don't have to worry about it. Yeah. We're covered and we're just going about our business.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's exactly what we did. So we have a little bit of time,
I
guess?
We do. We got about 3-5 minutes here.
Oh, okay. We did some proclamations yesterday.
Awesome.
Again, we want to be really encouraging to our local sports teams.
We have a lot of great organizations and people in our community, and it's always awesome to put a spotlight on
the NMMI Colts baseball team won the 3A state championship, and so we did a proclamation. It
was a great game to listen to if you got to catch it on the radio here. Yeah,
they went to play apparently, and they ended the game early because of the mercy rule, because they really put a spanking on them.
Yeah.
And a very good team, too.
They were a great team, but I think going in, they were a little underdog. And then people were like, ooh, they're better than we thought we were. And I think the first round or two, people were like, whoa, that was surprising. And they, of course, by the time they get to the semis and the finals, people were wise to them. But I think going in,
they kind of went in under the radar, but then they said, this is a real team.
Yeah.
And they were amazing. But anyway, they won the state championship. And as we've talked about earlier this year, Nemi also won the college championship.
Yeah, the
in
NCAA Division II championship.
Right.
Yeah.
And in volleyball, the ladies finished in second
They've
place.
always had a strong volleyball program, yeah.
My goodness, Nemi has done an outstanding job this year in sports. They always do an outstanding job academically. They always do a good job in sports, but this year they've really stepped up their
championships were lining up. But a lot of hard work and effort. But you're right, the volleyball program, they've always been a real competitive. I mean, all their programs are, but I know they take pride in the volleyball. That team is usually in it in the end all the time. They're ones, if they're not winning it, they're right there at the end. So.
And then along with the football or the baseball championship, the 3A state championship, coaches Ward and Rogers both decided that they were going to retire, and they announced it after the game. We also did a proclamation for them because they were outstanding coaches their entire career, not just this season, not just because they were just won, but their service. They've won state championships before. They did a great job. And I wish I had memorized it, but I found that Richard Nixon in 1973, I think it was October 6th, is Coach's Day, and they had a proclamation. And I was able to borrow some stuff from his proclamation and put into our proclamation.
Oh, cool.
I mean, some real good words about what a coach is and how they impact their communities, their players, and all that stuff. So that was really good to be able to give that to them. And, New Mexico Military Institute is an asset.
So I imagine you probably had some crowds out at this meeting because you probably had
we had a few people,
some
there
athletes and former players and stuff coming out to celebrate with them.
It's really
great.
Cool. Now, when we did the NCAA football or NCJA, whatever, I don't know the acronym.
The junior college championship.
When we did that, the football players are some pretty big guys. I felt a little intimidated as they walked by.
Yeah, they'll fill a room.
Those guys, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I'm going to be
you guys are on the
you.
podium, but they're still probably as tall as you.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching them in the pros. Those guys are amazing and built of muscle, nothing else.
I highly recommend the fall. You go out, since they play a lot of their games at the Wool Bowl now on Saturdays, the home games anyway. Y'all get tickets, go out to check out a game Saturday, and you'll be you'll be, like I said, they're defending champs now. You're getting the best in the business right here in Roswell. So go check them out.
And you may be watching somebody that you're going to see on television with their Super Bowl ring.
They might be on your Cowboys team or your Broncos or whoever you're rooting for around here, these parts. But
So that's really neat that we have that connection. Of course, everyone knows that Roger Staubach, one of my heroes from
he spent
NFL
some time
days,
in
he spent a little
MMI.
time.
Yeah.
Tom Brookshire, he was from Roswell High, but also Roswell has given their share of athletes up. And,
absolutely.
And so keep watching.
Yeah, you never know. One of those,
the Military Institute, because they're bringing in the best of the best and teaching them how to be better.
Yeah, one of those guys might be making it to a Pro Bowl in the NFL near you someday.
So,
Very cool.
Just quickly, I want to go over. We did a lot of business, of course. Some planning and zoning changes and stuff. One of the things I wanted to bring up is we passed a resolution requesting approval to condemn structures that are a hazard or danger to our community.
Okay.
So there were 9 structures that were identified by Lewis and his team as real hazards to our community.
Gotcha. They need to come down, or someone's going to get hurt.
There are some places in our county that are abandoned, that have burned, that have fallen down, and these are some of the worst of the worst. And we don't really normally pursue those things, but in some cases it gets so bad that we have to.
These are health and safety concerns that we need to address.
Affecting other people's. There was this lady who's been, I think she's probably in her 80s. She fixed up her own house by herself. She painted it up, went out every day, painted a little bit here, a little bit there. She even got a ladder and got on the roof and painted the chimney, and just really took pride in her little place. The place next door, I don't know all the scenario, but It ended up being abandoned. The trees died. The trees fell over on the house. They've had a fire over there. Part of the trees fall on her place. She has to pay someone to come pick them up. She can't do that.
It's just
But this little lady who's doing nothing but trying to do the best with her property is totally affected by someone who's not able to do theirs. I believe there may have been a death in the family and people live somewhere else.
Is there a property owner? Or is it owned by a bank or something? Or
No, it's I believe probably heirs of the person that had it, but they're unable to do it, and
they live somewhere else and have never even seen the property.
One thing after another, and but that's not fair to the little 80-year-old lady.
Absolutely. She's just trying to maintain her peace.
So those are kind of some of the worst that have to be addressed. I mean, you can't just let it continue to go, and and the county doesn't like to go in and take over take over their property, but force these kind of things. But sometimes you have to, and there were 9 projects that.
We're running out of time, but I'm curious, do you ever recoup costs back on those sometimes from the original property owners, or is it usually a lost cause?
It's usually a lost cause.
Is it?
It's a commitment of county funds to clean up the county.
Right.
And
I know you guys do make attempts to try to get the property owner to foot the bill there, but if it's like pulling teeth sometimes, or getting blood from a turnip.
In many of the cases, if the property had any value, they would be doing it themselves.
Exactly.
And then just but it doesn't. So they don't, and we had to step in and do our part.
So at some point, do you end up annexing that property, or whatever happens there? Does at some point the land defaults to a bank, or what's?
Well, we will put a lien on the property.
Okay.
But unless we exercise that lien, that just means it's going to follow. Whoever buys it next inherits that lien. So if they stop paying the taxes, for instance, there's a state tax sale going on.
Mm-hmm.
And people have to do their due diligence on that. If you decide you want to buy one of these tax properties, make sure you know what the taxes are due and all that, because you're going to inherit. If there's a lien on the property,
that's all yours.
You get all that. They try to sell them for what the taxes are due so that they come out clean. The state of New Mexico does that. But if there's a lien, you bought it. If there's a problem with the fences being on the neighbors, that's your problem.
Gotcha.
So be sure and do your due diligence if you decide to purchase one of those state auction properties. But
of course,
same way, if we tear something down, put a lien on it, and they sell the property, the person quits paying the taxes on it after 3 years delinquent, and they go through their process, put it up for sale, and you go and buy that property for whatever the taxes are, say $4,000.
Mm-hmm.
Say you buy it for $4,000, but then you find out there's a $10,000 lien on it. You bought the lien.
Yeah.
And you can't, sell the property until the lien's
you can't do a thing with it until
it's So be sure and do your due diligence. So we do put a lien on the properties, but unless we exercise the lien, take them to court to take it away from them, we don't end up with the property. And that would be pretty unlikely that we would do that, but the lien would actually follow the property.
So do your homework before you buy one of those, but you can find a deal if you're looking. We're about out of time. Is there anything else we want to make sure we cover before we let you get out of here?
I think we pretty much covered the main stuff, and we certainly had a good visit, and we learned all about Sean and his eating habits and his storage of French fries and all that good stuff. So that's the important part.
Well, we thank you, Bill, as always here, and we'll get you scheduled here probably again like the last week of the month here, next month as well.
Yes.
So to line up with the commission meeting there, it'll be the final Thursday of the month, right?
Right.
And
we will be canvassing the primary election. I believe it's going to be on the 13th, but we'll make sure that you get that information so that you can let people know to come on out.
Come on out, man. And don't forget, early voting's going on right now for primary, and then we're like a week away. What is
it's real close. Yeah.
Not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, I think, is primary, isn't it?
I think so.
I think, because the 31st is what Tuesday. So, it's like the next Tuesday
it's
after
the
that.
next Tuesday.
Yeah, so we're about a week and a half away.
Yep.
So. Well, thank you, Bill. As always, have an amazing Memorial Day weekend here, and
thank you.
And appreciate your coming on and talking to us every month. We do appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right, it is 9:57. Let's take a quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
This is Luis Sanchez, your Republican candidate for Congress in New Mexico's 1st District. I grew up in Albuquerque in a small little trailer in the South Valley, and was the first person in my family to go to college and live the American dream. I've worked in the medical field for 28 years, and am one of the owners of Caliber's indoor shooting ranges. I'm running for Congress because I see that American dream slipping away from the next generation. Socialists like Melanie Stansbury and AOC have inflation out of control in this country, and we have the highest unemployment rate in the nation. And those radical socialists won't stop until our country is ruined. In Congress, I'll uphold our conservative values, fight for all of our freedoms, just like I did when the governor tried to shut down New Mexico's small businesses. I am asking for your vote early or on June 7th. I'll work hard to protect your constitutional rights, secure our elections, and fight for real immigration reform to secure our borders. It's time to take our state and country back. I'm Luis Sanchez, and I approve this message. Paid for by Sanchez for New Mexico.
Buying a sewing machine from a big box store or online might seem like a bargain, but in this case, you really do get what you pay for. Just the machine. No lessons, no help with figuring out why it isn't working the way you expect, and no one close to fix it. Buying locally from an authorized retailer may cost a little more, but in the end, it will save you time, money, and aggravation. Come see me, Chris Ann, at So Easy Sewing, 200 East College Boulevard in Roswell, and let me show you why it pays to shop local. So Easy Sewing. You've never had it so easy.
Sometimes when you hit the road hits back. That's why MTA Mechanics and Tire carries major brands like Bridgestone, Cooper, and Michelin. Not only do you get top brand tires, but you also get a nationwide warranty. So wherever you are, MTA Mechanics and Tire has you covered. Stop by or let MTA come to you with their MTA Mobile Tire Shop, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. They can come to your home, office, or even the airport, and alignment is included on all sets of 4 tires. MTA Mechanics and Tires, getting you back on the road.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting him in there. Here's Mike Winters. The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And that's going to do it for us. Thank you very much for allowing us to be a part